Man, shit cool. Just finna fire up. You know what I'm saying? Got my jits and shit with me, you know.
Yeah. All right.
But shit, that's it though. I just wanna holler at you right quick about that shit that you were saying about, you know, my way, loser. Africans and Negroes not being synonymous, you know what I mean? Which I mean, if you do real genealogy, you know they not, you know what I mean? Because shit, that shit got them titles got applied to all type of people. But at the same time though, you can't deny the fact that Negroes did get misclassified, or Indians did get misclassified as Negro, as color, as mulatto, and things of that nature. And if there's no records to support, you know, you got an ancestor from any other land, I don't see how you can suggest you come from somewhere else. You know what I mean? Because if you do genealogy, you know you'll run into a record, somebody from Ireland, from Germany, from Poland, from
Mm-hmm.
Portugal, from Turkey. You see all this shit when you do genealogy. You know what I mean? So it, I'm just saying, bro. If a nigga African, he can locate the African in the genealogy. Cool. But if he can't, then shit. I don't
So
know
I
how you gonna
think
suggest that.
so. This is so. So when we dealing with like American culture and how they was labeling these people, right? And the best way we could do it is start like with newspapers, right? So you'll see like early in the newspapers, you had they would say like new Negro, or they'll say Negro, and the Negro would be born in Africa. The the regular Negro would be from here, and then they'll go on and say like whether they could speak English, shit like that. But it was never a conflict of the African descent, and we could look at that from the oh we could start looking at that in the 1700s.
But this go back to what I was telling you about earlier, like in that Choctaw Treaty between Article 3 and Article 4, 1866, they made a distinction between them Africans and them Negroes. And if it was all one group of people that had the same rights and all of that, then it would have just been one article.
Well, no, well, like I was saying before, I see what I definitely see what you were saying on that, but that's why I try to draw you to the what the meaning of the word is, because that definition never changed. So
Man,
this is
Negro
what
don't mean nothing but black in Spanish, bro. It's Spanish word for black. That's all
I,
Negro is. Like
so
that's not.
look now. So we get the word from the Portuguese Negro, right? But then it
Spanish,
becomes a
Portuguese, Iberian, they the same
yeah.
people.
Listen, then the word becomes we start using the word in American as a loan word. That word, the definition that they give for that word is a person of African descent from Negrita. I can show you that also in early
But that,
lexicon.
you know
So
that
this is
ain't
what I'm
true.
saying. We're changing, but you're
You
changing
got
how they was
you know
using the
it's
word.
Negro the terror and Negro the Guinea. You know it's blacks of this land and blacks from Africa. Like you already
See,
know
but you
that.
jumping around now.
No, but that we talking about the term Negro, and
We
we
need
talking
to
about how
focus.
the term we talking about how the term is applied from these same people that we talking about, these Portuguese and these Spanish. This is who they was talking about. Negro the Guinea and Negro the Terror. Negro the Guinea was the niggas they quote unquote got from Africa, and Negro the Terror were the Negroes of the land. Like so, it is clear. It's two sets of Negroes already on top, and they make that distinction.
Well, well, I contend that those are Negroes, those are people of African descent, because by the time we even get that quote, it's in the late 1500s, and we already got the Asiento de Negroes, where that they're sending people from Africa to where they're at, Brazil, and all of that. The Spanish had that, so I don't.
So where in the repartimiento system or the encomienda system Do you see the Spanish using African slaves?
Oh, from the very beginning. And starting in 1503, they start asking
Hey,
for African
you
slaves.
you pull up the definition of the encomienda system and the repartimiento system, which are the two slave systems or slave economies or whatever you want to call it that these people use. Pull it up, and it's going to show you that they use specifically Indians. Africans aren't mentioned in the encomienda system or in the repartimiento system. Just being honest.
Uh, being honest, we can go to the documents where they talk about getting these black people, these
And,
Ladinos.
and, and when you get into all of these slave revolts, you know these things ain't being led by no Africans. Like, it's just the truth. These folks don't know the land like that for real. You can't lead no war, and you don't even know
Why
what you're
can't you?
doing. You
Why
don't,
can't
you can't,
so?
boy. You don't know what you're doing. How you gonna lead somebody? That don't even make sense. How you gonna lead me? You in a foreign land. You don't even know how to cook right over here.
That's not true, man. Come
You
on.
don't even know how to cook right over here, man. Like, come on, man. Let's just being real, bro. You can't even
No,
cook
that's
right
not
over
being
here,
real.
bro. You can't even cook right over here, man. It's simple things like that. You don't even know how to feed yourself. How you gonna lead somebody?
Yeah, but they can feed themselves. There's nothing different from fire over here than fire in Africa. Like,
So why they wait till they get to America to get bucked and just decide, all right, now we finna
no,
buck.
they was bucking over there
They were bucking over there, and then somehow they
the
still
whole
got a
time.
million people took. A million people took, and they still bucking.
Yeah, yeah. Because you had it wasn't so you had other tribes going against them. So it wasn't like what we think of unified Africa. These people are tribal. They're
I
separate,
know
bro.
that, man. I know everything when it comes to the
So
African slave trade, transatlantic slave trade. It
so
ain't
I
nothing you
don't.
can tell me about this trade.
So then
So
why I don't get the questions you asking them?
what I'm
Because if you
telling you
know
is
that,
everything
it's
is not
easy
what
then.
they're making it seem to be. Like
I'm
for
not
example, like
I'm not
like
going off
for
what
example,
anybody's saying. I'm going off what I can prove myself, bro. I'm just
and
not taking in a story.
all right. So is it a story that there was Negro to Terror and Negro to Guinea, or them one set of niggas? Is them two set of niggas, or is that one set of niggas?
What do you know? It's so you got
It's
it.
two
So
sets, right?
no, it's not two sets. They're using that
Oh my
word in
god.
it. So
So
hold
these
on, bro.
ain't two
We
different
can hold
people.
on. No, that listen, brother. Can you listen to me for 1 second without you cutting me off every 2 seconds, bro? I thought we came here to dialogue.
I'm
Listen,
with you.
so when you go into what Jack D. Forbes talks about, because that's where you're gonna get it from. When you go into what Jack D. Forbes talks about, he talks about them using the word Negro in a slave status. That's what he talks about. So they're not
What?
saying so when
So
they say Negroes the terror, they're talking about the slaves of this land. They're not even calling them black technically.
see that's cap. Now you just
No,
capping.
it's not. No, it's not.
Now
Because
you
where
just
does
capping.
so where in
No, you just capping.
where no I'm not. Because where does Jack C. Ford say that? Because that's where you got it from. And if you look on the screen, this is a dictionary from 1708. And if we look right here, it says Negro in 1708. They're saying Negro. You see this? One born in Negrita or Negro land, a country of Africa. So this is what I'm saying. Y'all keep changing these definitions, man.
Ain't nobody changed it. Negro to Terror and Negro to Guinea.
So we can go
Negroes
with
of this
Jack D.
land,
Forbes. So
Negroes
now
for Guinea. Is that you can't change that? You can't make it other than that. You can't say the Spanish
I'm not
didn't
changing
identify the
anything.
people as that.
I think we need to take what he's actually saying in full context. I don't think you're doing that. He's talking about enslaved status. On this thing.
When did he say he talk about the slave status?
I'm gonna go to it. We're gonna talk. We're gonna see.
Because that ain't what he said.
I mean, that's where this is coming from, bro.
But
When
that
they
ain't
talk
what he
about the
said.
Negro de Terror, that's where it's coming from.
But he didn't
It
say
is.
he didn't say that means slaves of this land. That's not what he said.
No, he's saying that they're using the word Negro in the context of slave. That is what he's saying. That's 100% what he's saying. That's 100% what he's saying, bro.
Lord, I don't
Bro,
even
we
know
can
why
look
you
at
do
it.
this, man. Well, you know you shouldn't have caught. I don't even know why you do this.
Is this not this is where y'all get it from? This is where y'all get it from. So let me see what we talking about. Said so it said in 1755, a royal decree had been issued follows among the regrettable practices which have resulted in the disparagement of the Indians. One prime abuse is the unjustifiable and scandalous practice of calling them Negroes. Perhaps by doing so, the intent was no other than to induce into them the belief that their origins they had been the, in them that the beliefs that by their origins they had been disdained to be slaves of whites, as in generally conceded to be the case of blacks from the coast of Africa. So, like I said, they're using it in that context of slave. And you see up ahead, he has a Negro the terror quote. So he's not saying they're black, bro. And he even says in this same thing, where y'all getting this
That,
from?
man,
He says,
that thing say Brazilian Indians were repeatedly referred to as Negro de Terror. It
and then
said
he
right there.
explains why. And then I just told you why they was calling them Negro the Terror to make them
Yeah, because they
believe that
blacks
they
in
had
this
they was
land.
nothing but slaves, bro. That's what I said. I just read it to you right here. Well, I don't know what you not reading.
You funny as hell, my boy.
Nah, I don't think you being honest, bro.
You funny as hell, man. You really
When
are. You
when
funny,
does it
man.
say anything? No, when does it say anything about them being black?
Uh, Brazilian Indians were repeatedly referred to as Negro
All
or
right, keep
as
reading.
Negro de Terra, Negroes of the land. That's what it say.
Why don't you keep reading though?
There's no need to read to
No,
anything
because
else.
then you get the great then you
If
get the
we
whole
know
context.
Brazilian Indians were referred to as Negroes of this land, we know there was
No.
Negroes.
Okay, why was they calling them Negroes? A great many examples from the 16th and later centuries are cited by George Frederica in an analysis of Portuguese sources. They do not have to be repeated here, but be here, but suffice to say that it was common that finally in 1755 a royal decree had to be issued as following. And this is when I read that why they was calling them Negroes because they were slaves, not black.
They call them Negroes because they slave, not black. So why they ain't just call them Indian slaves? Because they can't know they Indian, huh?
No, because that's why they call them Negro de Terra, the Negroes of this land, the slaves of this land. They're not calling them
They,
blacks of this
they the
land
slaves of this land, but all of them slaves on this land. Why they ain't just call them all of them slaves on this land? All of them slaves over here.
because yeah, the all they're turning that word Negro into
You're turning the
slave.
word into
No, I'm
something you
not.
didn't say.
They're using that word Negro as a placeholder for slave, bro. They're not using it for black as in the English definition of it.
Yeah,
They're using it another
they're
way.
using it in the
And
Spanish version.
they
They're
got
using
told
it,
to stop
yeah,
calling them Negroes. They got no,
but
they
they're
got they
using the
got
Spanish definition. They're
no, no,
calling
they're
it black in
not. No, they're
Spanish. I
not.
know.
No, they're not. No,
They're
they're
calling
not.
it
That's
black
why
in
they told,
Spanish.
bro. That's why they told them to stop calling them that.
They're calling it black in Spanish. That's what they're doing.
Bro. Why did they tell them to stop calling them Negroes in 1755 then? And then
Lord,
and then
have
and
mercy,
then and
Lord.
if they do it, how are you still a Negro in the 1800s if you're Indian? This is shit. You're not making any sense, and you're not
It's,
from Brazil.
it didn't just happen in South America, man. It
It,
happened in Central America and it happened in North America too, man.
no, it did not. No, it didn't. I wasn't
Lord,
calling no Indians Negroes. Because when we go into the laws
Lord,
and the
have
papers,
mercy.
you're gonna see the distinctions. Come on, bro. This is the only example y'all have.
That's
Where is any other
that's
examples?
cap too. I'm not on my laptop. I'm on my phone. I ain't gonna cap with you. I'm
I
on
can
my
look
phone.
up whatever you want. I can look up
All
whatever
right,
you
all
want,
right. So
bro.
look, all right. So look, we're gonna make it real simple like this. If they ain't black, how they being mistaken for Negroes? They being mistaken for Negroes because they slaves. They gotta call them a Negro because they're a slave. That's why they gotta call them a Negro.
That's why they was calling him a Negro. Peace, bro. I say on the panel. Peace.
They
But
gotta
yeah,
call them Negro because they're a slave. That's what you're telling me. Even though the word for black mean
bro,
Negro in Spanish.
that's how they was using it
So
though,
so
and
now
that's
so you show me that Negro means slave in Spanish.
it doesn't,
So what you talking about?
bro. Listen, that's how they would. Yo, listen, don't tell me. This is what Jackie Forbes is saying. This is where y'all get it from. It
Boy,
doesn't
you
mean
shut
that.
up,
That's why
boy.
they told them to
You
stop
shut
using it.
up, boy.
That's
You
why they
shut
told them to
up,
stop
boy.
using it. I don't know what you're not seeing. That's why they told them
You
not to
shut
stop
up.
using this shit in the first
You
place.
shut up.
Uh, I don't know what
Stop.
you.
You shut up. You're implying your interpretation on something that ain't true. You put
No,
your
I'm not,
conjecture in just off something that you believe.
bro. I'm reading what they say. So
You
what does
done
this
your
mean?
all right. You done
What?
your genealogy. You know how far back you go on this land. Where's the record of the African on this land that you met? If you go back to 1712, you go back to 1712. What's the African name of your genealogy? You should be able to find him by then.
See, look now. See, look. Don't you can't add shit like that because I could point you in history where they actually say, oh, this person was African, this person was African. So be careful who because you don't know who you're dealing with, bro. I can go and
No,
show you right
all
now
you gotta
where
do
one of
is
my
show me the
people. Listen,
person in your
no, no, no. Hold
genealogical
on, hold on,
record
hold on.
that got off the
No,
boat.
because then see that's that. Then you're gonna say that got off the boat when
That's
these
all you
things
gotta
are
say. They
very
got
hard
off
to
the boat.
find.
There,
I don't
there are
have
plenty
that.
of shipping records, Vic Dog. You know there are plenty
Yeah,
of
but that
shipping records,
and I
so
haven't
you
been
can
able to
find
go
your
through all of
faults.
them.
There are
I
plenty
haven't
of
been able
shipping
to go
records.
through
There's
all of them.
plenty of shipping manifests, so
So you
you
mean to
already
tell
know.
me? So
And
you
you
mean to
know when
tell
you go in
me?
genealogy, we already had this discussion about if the parents were born of the
Nah,
foreign land, it would be listed. So man, stop it. You know that.
no.
No, you don't know
No,
that. Or
no,
you
no,
just said you did know that.
if no, listen. In most cases, my people, because I did have a lot of slavery. You don't see them until 1870. By the time you get to there, not you got the people are born in America, bro. The cutoff for the slave trade is in 1808. Not everybody was coming in 1808. Some people stem from people that came in way earlier. So now you already got generations of generations that's been born here. So I don't know. I don't even know why you're trying to.
You can get
You
plantation
too
records and
smart. You
plantation
too smart.
logs. You know
Yeah, I
that.
have, but I
You
have
know what I'm
slave
saying?
records though, bro. I have slave records.
All right. So if
I
you
don't
have the
have. I
slave
don't
records,
have.
if
I don't
you got
have
the
them
slave
coming off the
records, if
ship.
you got the plantation records, where are your people from? Because like you can Google the Whitney plantation logs in Louisiana. It's gonna show you all them Africans that was on the Whitney plantation in Louisiana. I'm not finna sit here and tell you Africans didn't come here because there's too much proof that they did. All I said, bro, is if you got one in your genealogy, show it.
So this is what I got. Y'all don't like shit like this though. This is what I got. Can you see that?
What your genealogy, bro? That is a DNA
Can you
test.
see that? Yeah, that's somebody I'm related to.
Where you
That's
where you,
African. That's African. That's somebody I'm related to. That's African. I don't get what your point is.
that's
Here
somebody
goes.
that
Here's
you're
my
related
fourth
to
great
that's active.
grandfather. Here goes my fourth great grandfather, William
So
Nelson.
so
He was
did you
enslaved
contact
by a
him to
man named
find
Henry
out which one of
Stokes.
his ancestors got kidnapped and shipped over here?
Bro,
Like
we
I'm sure
talking
that'd
about
be
hold on,
traumatic. Like that
hold
would be
on.
some type of family history on his side.
Yo, how you so sure it's gonna be a family history on his side when I don't have it on
Bro,
my side?
because when I talk to
Because
my elders,
we're
when I talk
separated
to
by
my
seven, eight
elders, because when I
generations,
talk to
bro.
my elders, they tell me about the good shit and the bad shit. What made
Listen.
our
We're
family great and
separated.
what tore the shit apart. So what I'm telling you,
Listen,
if that's a part of their history, they would know.
not necessarily. We're separated by a lot of generations, bro. A lot. But like I said, I've been able to identify people I'm related to over there. These are cousins. So
So using DNA about a way distant possibility, the 8 to 6 years. Come on, man, one segment, and then man, stop it.
that's it. Yo, that's cousin. What are you talking about? You got
Stop
third,
it.
fourth cousins. You got third, fourth cousins. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I know them too. Like we go to family reunions and shit.
Yeah, so you don't think that you're related to people you don't know?
We go to family reunions and shit. Of course, you're related to people you don't know.
All
Of
right,
course.
so why are you trying to imply that I don't just because I might not know that ancestor or that how we're related that we're not related?
Because if you went back to 1712 on this landmass from what you told me, dog,
So look, if you go back to
you
1712,
you'll
listen,
be
if you
able
go
to
back
see
to
it.
so
You'll be
listen,
able to see it, cuz.
let's think about this. No, you won't. So how many what great grandfather you think number would that be? Your fifth, sixth, seventh great grandfather?
It depends because it depends on how long each ancestor lived. Some of my
Oh no,
ancestors,
no, let's pick a
you
number.
know
Let's
that,
pick a
you
number.
know what I'm
Let's pick
saying
a
is true.
number,
Don't
bro.
stop me. Don't
No,
stop
no,
me.
let's
Don't
pick a
stop
number.
me.
So
You
let's
know what I'm
say
saying is
no,
true. Don't stop me.
let's say it's your fifth or your sixth great grandfather, right? Seventh great grandfather. You know how many grandparents you have at that time? Do you?
It'll be 9 if it's 7.
No, you're gonna have like 600
I'm
grandparents,
just
bro.
talking about direct. We talking about a direct line. I
All
ain't
of
talking
them are
about.
direct. All of those are direct. So what are you
I'm talking
talking
about.
about?
I'm talking about this
All of
direct
those
line.
are direct. See,
We're
that's
gonna
the
break
problem.
down each
Y'all don't. No,
each
no, no,
branch
no,
of that,
no,
because
no,
you know
no,
that
no,
comes with that. You do
no.
genealogy, so
See,
you know branches off branch off of branch.
they're
But at
all
the same
direct
time,
lines,
cause
though.
you got a direct mama, 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 mama. You got a
Yeah,
direct.
but
It's a direct
that's not
line
the
for that,
only
dog.
way.
It's a
That's
direct
not
line for that. It's
that's
a
not the
direct
only way
line
you're
for your mama,
related, though.
mama,
You
mama,
sound like
mama, mama. It ain't
that's not the
no, it
only
ain't
way
no
you're
other
related.
branches than that now, and you can't say it ain't. You know, ain't
No,
no other branches than your mama, 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 mama. You know that.
no, yes, it is because you got your father, then his mother. You can go that way. You can go mad different ways. What are
No,
you talking about, bro?
what I'm saying is, if you're doing
Well, that's why it's called a
specifically
tree.
your mother's mother, when you go up that chain right there, it ain't
Yeah,
but
but
one straight line
that's
for
not
that,
the
cuz.
no, 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 no.
You
That's
just have
not
to
the only
follow the
way.
name changes. You know that. You got to follow
That's
the
not the
name
only
changes,
way.
follow
That's not the only
generations.
way you're
It
related
ain't
to
but one
people,
direct
though,
line
bro.
for that. Ain't but
That's
one
not the
direct
only
line for that.
way.
You
That's
can't
not the
avoid
only way,
you can't
though. That's not
avoid
the
your
only way you're
mama
related to
and your
people.
mama, bro. You can't avoid that. It ain't no getting around it.
No, that's not the only way that you're related to people, though.
I'm saying
So
Indians are matrilineal. And if Indians are matrilineal, and we already know because of the damn, I wish I had my fucking laptop right now. But we already know
no,
because
but
of the
that's not
culture,
how. See, no,
because of
y'all
the big
saying
mama
that. That's
culture
not
that
how
we
it
got.
works, though.
This is because of the influence of the Indian woman
But
being captured. So, like,
that's not even
you
how it
can't do
actually
that.
works, though. That's not how it works, though.
Man, bro, you ain't got to do this with me. I got a whole tree. Man, you
So
done
look.
discussed
So
this.
why?
I got
I
slave
know. So
ancestors
why
and
are
free
you talking like
ancestors
that?
too. We
Yeah,
done
but
talked
so
about this. You know
no. So
this.
look. No. Because you're saying you can only go your mama's mama. What about if
I
you go
didn't
to your
say you can
father?
only
No,
go
but these are
through.
so.
I
Look, when
said
you get
that
up
is a
here,
direct line. I said
these are
that is a
all
direct
direct
line. I didn't
lines.
say that's the
These
only
are
one you
all
go
direct
through.
lines. But
Cause
these are all
it
direct
take
lines.
everybody to make up the person that you is. You take out one
Yeah,
ancestor out your tree and you don't live, nigga. I know that.
exactly. So why are you saying that when I say
You
when you get
showing
up
me
to
some
your
shit that's
seventh,
common
eighth?
sense.
So why are you saying what you're saying then if you understand that?
I said a direct line. Like you trying to go
All of
around
them are
what I'm
direct
saying.
lines though. All of them are direct lines though. When you get up to your seventh, eighth grandparent, you know how many you have, Mike G? You get up to your eighth grandparent, you got
Cause,
1,024
cause,
grandparents.
do you got one or two mamas?
One.
All right. Do you got one or two mamas?
Yeah, but that's not the only way
Hold
you're
on,
related to
no,
people.
stop. No, stop. Do you got
That's not
one or
the
two mamas? Do you got one or two
Hold on,
mamas?
everybody, can you hear me?
You can't get around that direct line. You can't
yo,
get
hold
around
on.
it, man.
Hold on, let Isaiah say something. He been in the cut, man. He been listening for a minute. Isaiah, do you hear him only trying to make it seem like you're only related to people by your mother?
I didn't say that. I said Indians are matrilineal.
Well, that's not the only way you blood though.
I
But let
didn't say
Isaiah
that.
say something. Isaiah, you there? Oh, you might not want to say nothing. But bro, you can't take everybody out. I don't get how you trying to do that.
You can't, bro. I'm not saying you take nobody out. That's like me discrediting one of my slave ancestors because I want to say they weren't a slave. But I do got some slave ancestors, and I got some free ones too. Like that's just the truth.
Yeah, me too.
I don't deny none of that. But at the same time, my slave ancestors, I was raised by one of them. My great grandfather, I was raised by him. So I know he couldn't read or write, but he knew he was an Indian. You don't
That's fine.
understand. You don't understand because I'm
That's
really
fine,
from the
but
deep south, and my folks grew
Can y'all hear me?
old. This is what I'm telling you. My
yeah,
folks
we can
grew
hear you.
old, so I don't have to read books and figure out all this stuff to do this. I don't have to. I can go right
Yeah, but
to
see,
the
look,
source.
you can't go
My
from
people
history and then
still got
anecdotal.
land to this day.
Hold on a second, bro. Hold on.
It's still going
I hear you.
strong. Ain't
I hear
nothing
you. Hold on a
changed.
second though, because now you're getting out of history. But go ahead, Isaiah. Go ahead. You want to say something?
No, just truth.
No, I don't know. I guess not. But listen, bro, you keep going. You can't keep going back and forth like from you to history because the history says that these people came over here. These people were labeled Negroes, and when we use
And the
it,
history says the Indians will also label Negroes, also label color, also
no,
label
it
Malay,
doesn't. I just
also
showed
taken
you.
into slavery. No, it doesn't.
Son, they stopped doing that shit, bro.
They stopped
They
doing it.
stopped.
When they start
Yeah.
doing it?
Well,
All right.
where at? Where you want to talk about
The,
at?
the
Where?
next time, the next time we had these
What location you
conversations,
want to talk
nuh-uh.
about?
The next time we had this conversation, and I'm on my laptop, and I can pull up the archive documents. I'm gonna show you these court documents of these Creek Indians going to jail and being sentenced. I'm gonna show you.
Hold on. See,
Don't
look.
worry
Now,
about it. I'm
now
gonna
we
show you.
now look. Hold on.
I'm
No.
gonna
See,
show
look.
you. Don't worry about it.
That's a conflation. That's a conflation because
That's
we
not a
all know.
conflation. That's
No,
not a
yes, it is.
conflation at all.
Going to jail puts you in a slave status as far as being punished for a crime. We're talking about being in
So it doesn't
slavery.
reduce you to a
Hold
slave
on, no,
status.
stop. What? No, yes, it does for that moment, but then there's a time period where you get out, you get off of that, and then you're no longer in that status. To be black in America, being born by a woman since 1662, a Negro woman, that made you a slave for life. That's we're not talking about you fucking up and going to jail. Let's not nah, that's not what we're talking about, bro.
Bro.
No, no, no,
So the
no.
13th Amendment don't say.
Because I've been to prison, bro. So yes, I could say I've been to slavery, but it wasn't like what happened back then. So we're not talking about going to prison. We're not talking about because I
Man,
was born of a black
look,
woman,
you know
I I,
slavery leave if
I
you
will be
commit a
owned
crime.
by somebody forever.
You
Y'all
know
can't be
slavery leave if
comparing
you
that
commit a
type of
crime,
shit, bro.
man.
Y'all
You know the
comparing
13th
words type of
Amendment,
shit. That
man.
shit is crazy.
You know the
And
13th Amendment, man. You know
yeah,
that. You know the 13th Amendment, man.
so
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 you know that.
So
You already know that.
if these people apply to the 13th Amendment, slavery is no longer illegal because of the 13th Amendment. Slavery is no longer legal in America because of the 13th Amendment, except for punishment of crime. So I don't know what type of game you're trying to play, bro. What you're saying is not even making sense at all.
Watch this. I'm gonna show you the court records to tell you. I ain't gotta tell you. These records speak for themselves, bro. You commit a crime, boy. You go and ditch your servitude, slavery, whatever. You gotta pay off your bond. You gotta pay off the
Yeah,
debt you owe,
what
and
part are
you're
you not
reduced to a
listening?
slave status. You're reduced to a lesser status. Stop
For a
it, man.
period of time. For a
Stop
period of
it,
time.
bro.
No, you're not even making sense, bro. And I don't even see
Stop
how
it,
you
man.
think you are. We talking
Stop
about for a period of time.
it. Stop it. And what happens after that period of time? They just granted their other status back, right? So when felonies go to jail and they get out of jail, they got their felony on their record. It's just cool for them to walk among society and they can operate like everybody else operate, huh? That what you telling me?
If yes, in New York, if you off parole, you can operate however you want, just like everybody else.
Hey, I don't
You're
know, man.
you're
I
back to
don't
your
know, man.
regular
I'm
status.
from Georgia. It's different around here.
You back to your regular status. You don't have no supervision. You don't have anything. You could vote. You could do all that. You could vote while you on parole. But you talking about things that happened after 1865. So I don't even
No,
see
I'm
how.
talking about
If
these
that's
are
what you got
things
to
that
bring your
happened in the
point up.
1700s, dude. What you talking about? This ain't no
So hold
1800
on.
stuff.
So why would you say 13th Amendment if you're talking about 1700s?
You gotta make it layman terms so you already can relate.
Nah, the 13th Amendment don't apply to that time. So, but
Yeah,
you're still
I'm just
saying
making sure you understand.
no. All you're telling me is that these Indians went to jail and they was put into a status of you want to say slavery because they
I'm
was doing
telling you,
hard labor. Hold on.
not only for committing crimes, you're forgetting the prisoner of war part. We're not even talking about the prisoner of war part. We ain't even
So
talking about that part.
yeah, we can talk about that
We
because
leaving
but my
all of that
point is
out. You know what
even
I
now
mean?
listen. Yes, we can go to the Virginia documents, the laws where they talk about if an Indian tribe catches another Indian and they can turn them over. But guess what? It's always a period of time, bro. You forgetting you being a Negro, being born of a woman made you a slave for life. There was no court. There was nobody can get you out of that. You got Indians that slip through the holes and then they go to court and then they get out of it just because they Indian, bro. Just because they can prove they Indian. Guess what? If you couldn't, everybody couldn't do that because everybody wasn't Indian. These Negroes was of African descent
If
and they
you
was
get
enslaved for life.
misclassified, if you get
Violent.
displaced, if you get moved off, if you mix in, you know, all of these type of reasons is why people couldn't be called Indian or couldn't quote unquote prove that they was
Nah.
Indian. You know, some people just flat out chose out not to keep the Indian table and just chose to call themselves Black Dutch or Black Irish just so they wouldn't get pushed off their land. That's what was going on in Alabama, Georgia, and Mississippi.
So you saying, say that again? You said people were misclassifying themselves.
People were calling themselves Black Dutch, Black Irish in order to stay on their land because they didn't want to move.
Black, no, they wasn't calling themselves Black Dutch.
Hold on.
So I get what you're trying to say. These people, instead of claiming Indian, they was claiming Dutch and other things. That's what you're saying?
Break the lane, I'm trying to make a name, but my sick thoughts got me by my brain. I'm searching for my, how ironic how we hustle for the same, but get bracelets for trying to get a chain, man, they wanna take up.
Oh, bro got up out of here. No, but let me find something. These dudes is crazy. They always ask for this African ancestor. I got an answer to that.
So there's a saying that there's no such thing as a dumb question. But when we're dealing with adults who claim to know history, then there is. There absolutely is a dumb question. The dumb question I'm talking about is the question of where is the African ancestor that came off the slave ship? This seems to be a persistent question amongst the Aboriginal community. Now I say it's dumb because they don't know anything about history if they're going to ask that question. They would know that these people that were enslaved coming from Africa was not treated in the most humane way. They would know that when they came here, they didn't care what their name was. I'm talking about the people that was purchasing. They didn't care. So what do we have here? We have a page from an account book from a man named Henry Lawrence. He was a big slaver in the South. So he took great records. And this is a record of a ship coming with 327 new Negro slaves imported off the ship Imperial. Charles Gwynn was the commander. They came from Angola. So now we can see who bought them. I think we got a man named Nyla Sampson. He bought one girl. He plans to pay in January. right? And we can go on and on and on. So as we look at this, like we can see John Scott down here, he bought 2 men. We don't know who those men's name are, right? We don't know. But we know these are people that
Yo, what's going on? My bad, I'm back. Y'all there? Where y'all at? Blade Brown, that's a fact. How you gonna take one out, but they not die? That makes no sense.
Hey,
Rico
you
got to
got that
explain
DM
that.
though. You got that mess about them black Irish and them black Dutch though.
Hold on, I'm gonna look. But you see the screen though?
I'll never once deny Africans did this land. I ain't did that, so you can't. I don't know what
Nah,
you
but that's
showing me
not
that
what the
for.
screen says though. But you trying to take when I try to say that you got multiple ancestors, you trying to say direct line. All of them are direct lines, bro. You cannot get around that. All of them are direct lines.
All of them make up you, but you only got one mama.
You said some Indian people with dark complexions claim to be black. Yeah, that's why I just asked you. I said you talking about people who was Indian that claim to be maybe Dutch or Black Dutch to stay where they was at. Yeah,
I
but
ain't gotta
Black Dutch
tell you
isn't.
that. Ain't that what it say?
Yeah, but Black Dutch isn't. Black Dutch aren't what like black people though. That's
Yeah,
not
so
what that.
you
That's
say.
no.
That's what
I
you
can
say.
show you. That's
Well,
it's not.
what is?
It's
Don't that say
Black
dark
Dutch.
complexion? Don't that source say dark complexion?
Yeah, I want to see the source. What's the name of it? We can pull it up. What's the name of it? What's the name of the book? See how he now he read. Oh, he must say be going to get it. I ain't gonna say he ran, but I want to see where that book is at. Like, cause Black Dutch just means all that shit means is that the person has uh, black hair, dark eyes, dark hair. That's what. That's all that means. They'll change up every definition of everything. I don't know, man. Where's Isaiah at? He's back. He keep jumping in and out.
Yeah,
Isaiah, what up? I'll take you on mute. You good?
you got it, man. What's going on, Chris? You got it. Now y'all going in, y'all going off on a lot of different stuff, man. But I just want to put it into perspective so we can stay on track. Or at least I can stay on track and try to stow up all of these so-called loose ends that I'm hearing. I didn't hear all of it, but you got to understand that number one, and I'm talking facts, right?
Mm-hmm.
Every place on this every place on this earth, the indigenous people were brown skinned people, black skinned people, black people, however you want to put it, more. I don't care if it was Russia, I don't care if it was Czechoslovakia, I don't care if it was Spain, India, England, Ireland, you name it. So you have to understand where do these so-called pale skins come from. They come from us, obviously. They didn't come from outer space. Because within the black woman exists every stereotype. Exists every phenotype. Wide noses, thin noses, wide lips, thin lips, the whitest skin albino to the blackest skin, the straightest hair to the kinkiest hair. So with that being said, and the foundation is now set, where do we take the story? And where do these so-called pale skins come from? And why? Pregunte a tu mamá. Esto hace lo hago ahora. What you have to do is to go back. You ain't going back far enough. I mean, it's cool because from what I heard, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I hear you.
Can you hear
I
me?
hear you. Oh shit, my bad. Yeah, can you hear me? I hear you. I hear you fine. Can you
Can
hear
you hear
me?
me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. Yeah, because my internet is not that good. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
As soon as you said that, you broke up. I heard what you said. I don't know if you can hear me, but so I think that we take that. So yeah, black people did populate, or what we want to say,
Who are still
melanated people.
black people.
Oh, I hear you now. Good, good.
Oh yeah. Did you hear what I was saying before?
Yeah, you were saying that
Yeah.
melanated
Oh,
people. You were saying melanated
right.
people populated the whole earth. Yes,
Right.
and
Right.
that white
So
people came from those people. Yeah, science says that, but I think we take out of context the distance in how far apart we are from those people. So when we
yeah.
say our
What?
most
Go ahead.
so we're like 100,000 years from being actually connected to those people. So within that time, a lot of mutations took place. That's why people look
Wait.
different
What?
and
A
all
hundred
that other
thousand?
stuff.
Where you getting 100,000 years from? These people are only at the most 5,000
Hold
years
on.
old.
No, I didn't say white people. I didn't say white people. I said
Yeah.
so. Let me explain. So what I'm talking about is 100,000 years ago, people left Africa, right?
Oh,
So
okay.
that you
Okay.
don't have to agree with me. So
No, I
those
agree.
hundred.
Yeah.
All right. So those people that left Africa are 100,000 years separated from those Africans, right? So now when we get
Right.
now those people now we got black people that leave 100,000 years ago. They go into Europe. They sit there for 90,000 years. There's no white people. White people come around 10,000 years, and that's let's say
No.
three genes that activate that
Uh-huh.
started in like East Asia, like Eastern Asia over there in that Caucasus Mountain area. And
Right.
those people who possessed those three genes, they flooded Europe and took over. That's why it became heavy and blonde hair, blue eyes, and pale skin. Because those people with those traits took over that area about seven, eight
Mm.
thousand years ago.
But no, you're giving them too much credit. I don't. Let me backtrack and try to put this in the historical perspective that it's supposed to be in. Right? They ain't no 7,000, 8,000 years old. It's only like 4,000 years old. This has been determined and talked about, and white folk in general know that you got to also understand where does this so-called label of whiteness come from. That's a historical significance because you have to get into the true history of America. And when did so-called the term white started to come in, or the term Caucasian started to come in? It came in starting with Christopher Jackson, in the 1780s, but it didn't cement in the minds of these so-called pale skins because they didn't gravitate toward that in the 1780s. You know what I'm saying? They were just pale skin. They were called what we called them throughout Europe. You have to understand that the Tripartite Wars from 1801, '02 to 1816 was about black people taking so-called these pale skins into slavery. That's what the Tripartite Wars were about, and the act of them gaining and fighting for their freedom from niggas taking them into slavery, not them taking us. 'Cause they weren't that smart. They got all of their nautical knowledge from us. They got all of their military knowledge from us. The greatest military strategist was Hannibal. And the
I
school.
don't want you to think that I disagree with anything because you're making
No,
some
no,
good
but yeah, no,
points that
I'm
I do
saying, but
agree with. But I
but
just want to add that we
right, but
can't
what I
really
want to
jump around like that, and we're
see,
jumping around
but
in
yeah,
like
yeah, but
time frame
but
like that.
right, but well, I'm not trying to jump around. I'm trying to give how you said the linear dates and years and centuries so that people can see it for what it is. But in order to understand this so-called white supremacy, which is nothing but how would I put it? It's nothing but a defense against black supremacy. You understand? Because they had no rights. During and throughout Europe, it was the black elite that gave them their right, their human right, under the Emperor Constantine, who was black. He wasn't white. You understand what I'm saying? And then you
Oh,
have
you
to
trying to
have
say
all of these.
Constantine is black?
Wait, hold on. Yeah, you have to have all of these things in perspective because you have to understand that the French Revolution, the 30 Years' War, 100 Years' War, these are all race wars of these pale skins fighting for their freedom against black people who were holding them down. You know what I mean? We're not the most holiest people on the planet. And so when you
So
begin to
listen,
see, yeah, go ahead.
how that's what I'm saying. That's what I got a problem with, bro. I don't have a problem with everything you're saying, but I do got a
Mm-hmm.
problem with we trying to act like these Romans are black people. These same Romans are the same people that became the
Hold
Catholic
on,
Church.
you're breaking up. You're breaking up. Like I didn't hear what you were saying.
I was
You
saying
were
I
saying
got
the
a
homie
problem
what?
with the Romans. We trying to act
Oh, the
like the
Romans.
Romans
Oh, okay.
are black when these
They were
Romans
black,
became
man.
no
The
no
Greeks
no.
and
Hold on,
the original Greeks and
hold
Romans
on,
were black. Yeah, go
hold
ahead.
on, bro. Let me get what I got out.
Okay, okay,
Let me get what I
okay,
got to
go
get out.
ahead.
So
Yeah.
what I'm saying is these Romans that became the Roman Empire became the Catholic Church. The Catholic Church took over and colonized America and Africa. We are not those people. Those people are not black. The people that went into those lands tens of thousands of years ago, yes, those people were black. But the people who created the Greek culture, the Roman culture, are not black people, bro. No way, no how.
How do
Constantine
you
is
say
not
that?
black because he's not. He's
Because
living in 300
yeah,
AD. These people are
uh-huh.
living. They're white people.
They're
They're
not
what you would
white.
call white.
You see, you
They don't
got
listen.
okay, okay. Well, go ahead.
They're what you would call white. Of course, they didn't use those terms back then. They was Romans. They didn't have a big color thing. They had a little bit, but not as much. When you get to 1,000 years later and you get to America,
Uh-huh.
it's not the. That's what I'm saying. We got to be careful about jumping across these time
Right.
periods. So they became white when the indentured servants and the slaves started banding together because the upper class whites they was basically oppressing both of them. So that's when we start getting the Negro and then white. They
Wait,
start to
wait, wait. The
separate
who?
them
What? The
after.
upper class in America or the upper class
So you
in
had the
Rome and
ruling
Greek?
class, you had the no in America. What I'm doing, that's where you
Okay,
get
okay,
white from. When you talk about
okay.
white, you could that really starts in America.
Right. Okay.
So really, when we're looking at after Bacon's rebellion and all these other rebellions where whites, where indentured servitude white people and enslaved black people were banding together and killing these oppressors because it was only you was only rich or you was poor. So they're killing the ones who got money, the ones who's owning them, the ones who calling it they're calling master. They're killing them. They're having rebellion. So what the white people decided to do was to separate and call them white and make you better. This is where that white supremacy starts to come into play.
Uh-huh.
And that's when they really start using that religion perspective on the curse of Ham and all that other yah shit.
Mhm. Well,
Yo, no,
let me, yeah. Well,
go ahead, go ahead.
yeah. Let me give you a little bit more background because it's so very important to understand the facts. I'm not talking about emotions. I'm not talking about feelings. I'm not talking about what coulda, woulda, shoulda. You know what I mean? The actual facts are this. When these so-called Dravidian albino came into existence, they were way out of the norm, obviously, because everybody around them were darker skinned or lighter skinned people. But these people were so out of the norm, we locked them into the Asian steppe where they stayed, right? And so after being there for so long, and I'm trying to make it the story a little bit shorter because I go into details in my book, The White Man's Burden of Lies and Deceit 1 and 2. It covers it in detail. It gives proof that Constantine was black. It gives proof that the Romans and the Greeks were black. And it gives proof as to how these people were able, you so-called pale skins or the Tamahus were able to usurp the power of our ancestors to get to where they
You
are
said
now.
this is your book?
Yeah, I wrote one book one and book two. on Amazon. Just look it
Oh,
up.
yo, no, no,
Yeah, go
no.
ahead.
Send me the link. Send me the link.
Uh,
Send it to me on
hold on.
Facebook. Whenever you get a chance, you ain't gotta do it right now.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
I'll definitely
So
support,
what?
brother. I'll definitely support. I like that.
Okay.
I definitely
Yeah,
like that. Wow.
yeah. So the idea is that I'm typing it in now. But the idea is that when we put these people in the Asian steppe, they were bounded by the Persian, uh, the Persian, the Turks, the Persian, the Turks were black people. So what happened was that we could have killed them all.
See, we making everybody
And you got to
black,
get it
bro.
out of your mind, right? We got to get it out of our mind that we're the most holy people. We don't do nothing wrong. That's not true. So you got the Mongols, you got the Turks, you got the Persians, and all these black people, or Moorish people, or brown-skinned people who are
So if
surrounding these
all
people.
those people, so if all those
And like I
people
was
are
saying,
black, where did these Arabs come from? Where did these Chinese people come from? And because the
what are
history
the
that
who?
they're given, where did these Arabs, where did these Asian and Chinese people, where did all
What
these
they
other
were?
people
Yeah.
come from? Because hold on, because what you're
What?
saying, like when
Okay.
you're talking about
What
the
other people
history,
you
it
talking
wasn't
about?
that long ago. Everybody that you're excluding, like the Persians, you're making the Persians black. You're making everybody black.
Uh-huh.
Like they're different people. You don't get black until you get into America, where there's only Native, European, and African. But when you start going over
Right.
there is no. Those are different people. Yeah, some might have melanin, but everybody that has melanin is not
Hold
black,
on.
bro. Black is something
Hold
that
on.
was
You were fading out a little bit.
I
What were
said
you
they
saying?
have melanin. I said they may have some of
Oh
them may have
yeah, yeah.
melanin, but that doesn't make them black. Black
Well,
has an
yeah. You got.
origin.
Well, I'm using. Yeah, I'm using. Right. I'm using the most current definition of what people with brown skin would be in today's nomenclature. You know what I mean?
No, but
But
that's not
yeah.
true.
But see what now? Listen to what I'm saying. No, I've traveled a lot. All right. I've been throughout the Caribbean. I've been throughout the Pacific. I've been to Japan, in the southern part of Japan, where I see people like us, the original Japanese people. I have seen the original Chinese people who were black people or brown skinned people. So we're everywhere. So the idea is that not everybody. How they go? All skin people ain't.
Yeah, all skin folk ain't
Uh,
kin folk.
yeah, there you go. There you go.
That's what I'm
So
trying to tell you. Because they're dark,
right,
they're
but
not you.
right, because there's a cultural difference, there's a language difference. Like I'm a Dominican, right? But I'm also American. I have both citizenship. You feel what I'm saying? So when I go back to New York or go back to Chicago where I got family, I'm down. You know what I mean? I understand the culture of blackness in America. I'm all for it. You know what I mean? I understand it. But if I talk to some of my Dominican, family here who never left, an extended family, then they see it in a different way. Oh, you're American black. Oh, I'm a Dominican black. You feel what I'm saying? Still black, but the idea is that there's a cultural difference and there's a language difference. I speak Spanish and I speak English. So, but I'm not trying to put it out there, but I'm Jewish too. So, and when I look at the historical significance of those connections to our ancestors of long ago, and the Hebraic or Jewish connection that I got from Spain to North Africa, from North Africa to the Dominican Republic, to the Dominican Republic to America, and back now again to the Dominican Republic, I can relate. You know what I mean? So what I do is look at the basics. What is it that is connecting all of us that will allow us to function in a way that we can improve our economic, political, and spiritual power? Because those are the three rings. Those are the three rings that a person or people need in order to facilitate their economic power into political power, that ultimately into spiritual power that allows you to be able to see that everything that happens outside of you begins in the mind of everyone. So once you began to see that, and you began to see, hold on, and began to see the power of our ancestors and what they taught, in respect to that, then now you begin to expand your whole nother understanding to a whole nother level. Because now you can really connect, you can really relate, you can really speak to a person at where they are. You feel what I'm saying? So
Nah, I
when
feel
I'm
you.
in,
Yo,
yeah. Hold on. Let me go further. So with all of that being said, bro, you know what I mean? Uh, we got to understand the root, the how you say the damn it, the rudimentary of what life brings to you and how I can help my brother. Because I look down on a lot of people, but when I look down on them, I'm trying to lift them up, not put them down. You feel what I'm saying? So with that mindset, and my whole purpose in life is to be able to help people to help themselves. Because in the end, how can my life be better if I can help my fellow brother, my fellow sister, my fellow people become better? Look beyond the culture, look beyond the language, and see the foundation and the fundamental connection that we have. And the most fundamental connection is our color of our skin. And once we see that, then everything else takes care of itself. Because in the end, and I'm not trying to get off the subject, but in the end, these pale skin, they know they're in trouble.
so, so what you're
You feel
talking
what I'm
about
saying?
so what you're talking about is Pan Africanism.
Yeah, yeah, basically,
Well, that's
basically.
the problem. A lot of people a lot of people disagree with that, and that's why we having these
I, you
conversations now.
know, right, and that's the reason why. Yeah, both of us. That's the reason why. Uh, I don't want to say we have a problem, but the idea is that we got to get beyond this so-called. Because to me, let me back it up. To me, Africa begins and ends at the four corners of the world. There's no end. There's no out. There's no end. There's no but. How you say it? Damn it. There's no. You know what I'm trying to say. There's no ends or buts or whatever you want to say. You know what I mean? So Africa begins and ends at the four corners of the world. We are everywhere. Once you begin to see that and understand it and know that, and that our true enemy is the Pelicans, and because our ancestors warned us about associating with these motherfuckers, man. They're the worst motherfuckers on the goddamn planet. And they're talking about crime in America is basically rooted in blackness. How the fuck do you say that? Because the most criminal element in America are white folks. And the biggest, Jacob, I bet you put you in lobby on that. The biggest criminal, the biggest murderers, as you can see right now, is Fauci and Bill Gates, and they killing hundreds of millions. If not sterilizing people, man, these are the worst criminals and the worst motherfuckers on the goddamn
But
planet
look,
because
you
they
do good.
know,
You
bro.
be doing good. You be doing good.
Huh?
I agree. See, this is the first time me
Yeah,
talking to you, so I agree with more things that you
yeah.
say than I disagree. Because when I was talking to you on Facebook, I thought you was
Uh huh.
crazy. Man.
Well, yeah,
I really thought
you know,
I really thought you was crazy.
nah,
But
but you know,
you're
cause
not. You're
yeah,
not.
yeah. I feel you. I feel you.
You're not crazy. You're not.
Go
Some
ahead.
things I definitely disagree with what you're saying. Other things, I agree with. So I don't got no problem with that.
Right,
But I wonder this thing I got on the
right.
screen.
But
What I was trying to explain. What I was trying to explain before was,
yeah, I put that link on there. I'll put that link on there for you.
all right, I'm gonna check it out. So what I was trying to explain to Rico before he left was how he was trying to talk about people going to jail. When I'm pointing
Mm-hmm.
out since 1662, when you was if you was born of a Negro, you take her status, and they made sure that status was slave. So
Uh
you didn't have to commit a crime. All you had to do was be black. He's
huh.
trying to
Right.
act like that wasn't the case.
Mm-hmm.
You
Well,
ever think you could turn that? Is that the TV? You
yeah.
can turn it down a little bit.
Oh no, that's my kid running and screaming.
Oh,
I got little demons, man. Demoniosito.
hey, look.
Vete en la habitación. Llévalo. Aarón, llévalo. Ah, mi amor, Domingos. All right. Or excuse me. But yeah, I'm sorry. But the thing is, man, the real Indians are us. All right. Like there's no ends, there's no if, there's no but. Because
I don't see it that way, man.
no, well, let me explain. Let me give you the backdrop. Let me give you the foundation, so that at the end of the day, these so-called Indians that we see are Mongolian. They're still brown skinned, but they came later. You have to understand too. There was an
Later
influx
when?
of China. Huh? Oh,
Later when?
well, hold on. Let me give you the background. In the beginning, we've been here since 20,000 years, if not more. In these lands we call Turtle Island. All right, we are everywhere. We are everywhere. Remember that we are everywhere. There is no such thing as a white person. There is no such thing as a red man. I have never seen one in my fucking life. You know what I mean? So when you get past all of that and you drop all of those
You never seen somebody
hashtags,
that they would call red?
there ain't no red man, bro. They like ain't no white man. They ain't no black man. They ain't no yellow man.
Yo, hold on.
You know what I mean? I know.
Mute your mic real quick. Mute your mic. I want to play this video real quick. It's not even a minute long. You hear me?
You're breaking up a little bit. I might lose you. I'm gonna have to come back in. I might lose you because this internet ain't that good.
There's like distinction where they show a difference between two similar things. So what is these two similar things I'm talking about? So first, we're gonna show a full-blooded
Oh,
Choctaw
there you go, there you go, there you go.
Danny Nicks, right? Let's say full-blooded. So now let's go down here. So we have Calab Pratt, the Choctaw Negro. So why would they have to put the word Negro in there if he was already an Indian or he's full-blooded? Why would they make a contrast? Both of these people are Choctaw. One's a Negro, one's full-blooded. One is of African descent, one isn't. I don't know what the problem is. Y'all really hate being black. Y'all just hate it. So I don't.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Let me explain because you're leaving out a lot of information, bro. There's a white guy. I can't think of his name right now. Damn it, it just came to me. Walter
Walter Plecker. All right.
Walter Plecker.
So
Okay.
what happens when this happens before Walter Plecker? That newspaper's from no. That newspaper's from 1894. It's from 1894. That's way before Walter Plecker was doing anything. Walter Plecker was doing what he was doing in like the 1930s. So what happens when that's the case? When it's before your Walter Plecker guy.
Okay, well let me
See what
give
I'm
you the
saying?
let me give you the backdrop as to what
No,
happened.
bro, we gotta be
Okay.
honest about this.
Okay, but you gotta understand too. You have to understand. This is what I cover in my book as well. White folks ain't got no history. That's number one. Let me put that on the table right now.
Well,
That. Hold
they got a
on.
history.
No, they don't have no history. They stole their history from us and turn around and tell us we ain't shit.
Okay, but
We
let's not
civilized. Well, hold on. Hold on. Let me say this. They know that we don't know our history, so therefore they were able to finagle and lie and manipulate and to change the historical narrative. This is where this CRT is coming from, and this is why white folks. Hold on,
This is a
let me
newspaper
speak
from
because I'm trying to give
1894.
you the full gist of what. After the 1860, 18 Civil War, you got to understand that Abraham Lincoln and his Vice President Hannibal Hamlin were black men that freed white people as well as so-called
Hold on,
black
hold on, hold
prisoners
on.
of war.
See, this is what I'm saying. Hamlin was not white. I mean, was not black. Neither was Lincoln.
Hamlin was black,
No, they
bro.
wasn't, bro. I got
Yeah,
articles about
I got proof of that. I
the
got proof
time.
of that. I got
No, you
proof of
don't have
that.
proof of that.
Yes,
No,
I
you
do. Well,
don't,
you
bro.
gotta accept it. And look,
No,
hold on.
what you
Let
have
me
is
put that
white
out on
men.
the
No,
table.
I'm gonna
See,
tell
we're
you
gonna
what.
have a discussion, right?
Yeah, so
Let me say
this
it.
will be so.
And hold on. In Abraham Lincoln's own words, he described himself as being black. His mother and father being black. This is his own autobiography.
Go get
This
it.
ain't something I'm just
Where can
coming
I
up on.
find this at? Where can I
Yeah,
find this at?
in
I
his
want to hear. Yeah.
autobiography, bro. Look at what that guy's name. He's really good at this. Not to say that I'm bad, but he really goes into detail. Um, he's on YouTube. What's that brother's name? Damn it. But even Asir, the Duke of Tears, Tiers, will tell you this. Even what's that name? What's his brother's name? It'll come to me in a minute. But he goes into detail as to Abraham Lincoln's autobiography. You got
Nah,
to understand
you
white folks.
gotta,
You don't
nah, you
don't
got to get that. He was not, bro. He was not
hold
black,
on.
bro. I don't care what you
He
say.
was black. See, you got to get that out of your mind, bro.
No, I don't
You know,
have to.
well, once
You
you
know,
hear it,
y'all not giving me
no,
anything but what
hold on.
y'all.
Let me give you a
No, because
backdrop.
I actually looked into these things though. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I've
that's
actually
what I'm
looked
saying.
into stuff.
Because I didn't know what the discussion would be. I would have had all of the proof and evidence here. But you can
No,
look
but
it up.
I have
Yeah,
heard
go
this
ahead.
stuff before. That's what I'm saying. I've heard this stuff before,
Oh,
and
right.
the only person that said that Hamlin was black was the person he was running against. Nobody else can corroborate the
No.
story. Nothing.
Listen to what you can Google it, right? Google it.
And
When
I
Hannibal
don't
was
want to
in
get I
front
don't
of
want to get
well,
stuck on that, man. I
yeah.
really don't
When
want to get stuck on
Hannibal,
that.
no, but we're not. But I'm going to put it out here on the table. When Hannibal was in front of Congress, some pale-skinned Thomas who were talking about the color of his skin. Hannibal replied, "I get my brown skin from nature. You get yours from a wine bottle." Do you understand what I'm telling you? The man was black. Abraham Lincoln was black.
No, you saying
You feel what
to
I'm
me
saying?
that sounded like you say he was getting 10. They wasn't though, but whatever. I'm telling you that
But
we'll just have
no.
to
But
agree to disagree.
but don't fight me about it. I'm just putting it on the table.
Don't
The
fight me
proof is
about it. I'm
there.
trying to leave it
No, but
there. All right, but I've
But he wasn't
actually
white. I can prove that,
he
and
wasn't
I proved that in my
he was
book.
not no he was not a Negro, brother. He was not a
But he
Negro.
was a nigga. He was a nigga.
See, no, he wasn't.
We didn't have TV back then, so the fact that he got away with it, and there were other presidents and an American Indian vice president. Did you know that? So all of these so-called every president that we ever had were all white.
See,
No,
this is just too much,
no,
man.
no, 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 no,
All right,
no,
so
no.
look. Let's just look
Go
at
ahead.
this real quick, man. I'm trying to point out this is the article I had in the that video. It's from 1894. So Walter Plecker has nothing to do with this, right? Up here it says a full-blooded Choctaw woman named Annie Mix gave birth last Friday near Bloomfield. I don't know what that is. To four male children. She had four male children. That's a lot. So why? Oh shit. So now, and this is what I mean. Like, yeah,
Mhm.
after 1866, Negroes could be citizens of Choctaw and these Creek and other nations, but they wasn't full blooded. They were with the Negro, a person of African descent. And we could look at the 1866 Choctaw Treaty where they talk about that. These are
Mhm.
distinctions that they make. it's already been made. You can look at a book called The African Creeks. Like
Mm.
y'all are coming now and saying, "Oh, the Indians are the Negroes," and no. At that time, they always made the distinctions. We can go all the way back to 1660s, in the 1660s, where they'll say Negro, comma Indian, comma. You get what I'm saying? They're not saying they're the
Right. No,
same
I
people.
feel
Y'all
you.
are trying to make them the same people.
Mm.
And I
See,
can
but
show you
when
tons and tons of examples of that.
right, and there's tons and tons of examples of these so-called pale skins who were labeled as Tomahawks coming to the Americas, right? North America. You got to understand that the America consists of Canada, North America, where you live at, Central America, South America, and the Caribbean. Okay, that's the Americas. So when I look at the Taino Indians, which is where we are located in the Dominican Republic, these people were brown skinned people or niggers, if you want to put them like that. You know what I mean? When you get into
Oh,
the further reaches into the Americas, into South America, Central America, North America, and Canada, you find a plethora of information and books that describe these people as being Ethiopian-like people. Black
no,
people, black
listen,
as black.
hold on.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hold on. I
Go
have
ahead.
no problem. The people who are in these tropical regions, they are darker, yes. So when you get to Brazil, Mexico, all these tropical regions on the islands, you're gonna
Uh-huh.
have darker skinned people, yes.
Oh, okay.
But
Okay.
they
Now we
are
got that
not.
off the
They
table.
hold on. But they are not to be confused with the people that they was bringing from West Africa. They don't look the same.
Okay. Okay. Now you're
Their
hitting. Now
skin
you're
color.
hitting the head. Hitting it on the head. Now. Go ahead.
No, but this is what I've been saying. I've been saying
Okay.
this. There of course there has to be darker people here. That's
Right.
the way
Okay.
nature works.
Right.
Science already proves that.
Okay.
That's how nature works. But
Right.
when we come to America, they would always say, if you could look at my screen, a Negro, and then comma, meaning something else, and an Indian, right?
Uh
To be
huh.
sold. So yes, Negroes and Indians were sold side by side, but they're two different people.
No. No.
Yes,
No. No.
yes,
Well,
yes.
let me throw a little bit of light on that. The first, the Dutch, right? And
Hold
the
on.
and hold on, the Dutch
Oh
and the
damn, I ain't even show that. Oh, I ain't even show it. Let me show that shit.
hold
I
on,
got the wrong screen up.
what the
Let me pull
what
that
the
up.
hell was, what's the name of that country? Oh man. Okay, well you got the Dutch and you
And
got
that's in
Portuguese.
1733, bro. Can you
Right,
see
wait,
that?
hold on, player. I got you. I got you. I'm not fighting against you, I'm fighting with you, you know what I mean? I'm just trying to
No, but
bring
my
a little
thing is,
bit
I
more
don't know
light and clarity.
why we always got to take over other people's cultures,
No,
right?
because we're not.
These are separate things.
Wait,
No, listen,
hold
these are separate
on.
things.
Our culture is
Now,
Indian
listen.
culture, man.
No, they're not. See, that's what I'm saying. We trying to culture vote there. We get mad when people do it to us, and then we
Nah.
turn around and do it to them.
Hey,
Now,
them Native
listen.
Americans don't
Hold
cook
on. Now,
cornbread
these
no more.
Negroes and Indians
We
say, look,
competitive. Wait, hold on, player. Let our boy speak. Go ahead.
Them Native Americans ain't cooking no cornbread, no squash, no okra, no gumbo, man. That's Indian
they
food,
not.
man. So
No,
that's
those
cap.
are.
That's our culture.
No,
Yeah.
what happened is West Africans came over there and cooked with food that they had here and created
So we
it.
start making the Indian foods, and the Indians stop making their own foods, huh?
That's not Indian food. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Indians
Say
not
what?
making no cornbread. You just said
All right,
Indians not
Maine,
making
pull up
cornbread.
cornbread and tell me you ain't.
corn is native to the Americas.
Yeah, corn
There are
is.
other,
So
yeah, there are other plant and
what is
animals that
wrong?
are
Listen,
native. Hold on, man.
listen. I don't know.
No, hold on. Let me put this on the table because I'm more for you there than against you. When you look at cocaine, which is were in Egypt and Africa, right? And Middle East, well, there's no Middle East, right? But you find cocaine and other plants like maize and something yam and stuff like that. Were all indigenous plants and fruits and vegetables from the Americas that were transported to Africa. So there was obviously a transportation of goods and services from Africa to the Americas. It wasn't just no, when the these so-called
All right,
pale
so
skin were, hold on, let me finish. So when you look at the influx and the back and the coming and going from West Africa to the Americas, starting with my home country, the Dominican Republic and Haiti. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I'm Haiti, but these two countries connect. You find that these people were coming to the Americas, the Caribbean first, and the first people and the first person who transported so-called black people into the Americas was a Portuguese guy, if I'm not mistaken, by the name of Ayllon. He was black. These Portuguese and Dutch people who came to the Americas to assault the native so-called black population. This was a black on black crime. It had nothing to do with white folks. Nothing, nothing. So when you look at hold on, when you look at the later on things that were happening, then you began to see the bigger picture because white folks weren't doing anything. These pale skinned people weren't doing anything. We were taking them into slavery all the way up until like 1920. That's a fact. Our so-called slave period ended in 1865. That's a fact. And when you get into
That's what I'm saying. You jumping from 1492 to
because
1865.
I'm sticking with what you were talking about.
Doing a lot.
But
No,
no, hold on. No, okay, go ahead. Well, explain. Go ahead.
So
I'm on
what
the
we
co-sign of Allion because he enslaved Native American Indians, or what y'all call Native Americans first. So yeah. And then he took them back to the Dominican Republic with him, and then he took them over to Spain. Then he brought them back to Carolina, and that's when they escaped. And
They
Francisco Socorro went back home.
so how
right.
long did
And
that how long did
But
that go
they'll
on
call
for?
that in history the Sapella Revolt. They'll call that in history the Sapella Revolt. But that's what they'll call it. And they'll label it an African revolt. But it went Africans rebellion. It was Indians rebellion.
Right, but you gotta remember too that Virginia was the first state that declared that black people or Indian people or Negroes could not buy and sell so-called white people. So obviously they were slaves. You know what I mean? And this is where the word slave comes from the Slavic Indo-European people. And when you're
Yeah,
talking
come
about
on.
Indo-European, hold on. When you're
You're
talking
doing
about
too much jumping
Indo-European,
around.
no. I'm being very forthcoming with you. You are saying that correct me if I'm wrong. You were saying that there were no black folks in America until West African slaves that white folks brought into the Americas began to populate the American population. Isn't that right?
Do you mean black in color or black as what
No,
I mean?
you said West African, so I'm saying,
Yeah,
and
West
correct me
African.
if I'm
So
wrong. Right?
this is my point. You had African, Negro, black people who, when they was in Africa, was Hausa, Igbo, Ashanti, so on and so forth. They got
Uh huh.
transported to America, and those tribal people who came from tribal places, Wagadu, Angola, they they became Negroes and black people.
No, that's
Those
not
people,
that that.
hold on, I'm telling you what
It
I'm
ain't that
saying.
simple.
Hold on, I'm telling you what I'm saying, so you're not confused from what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
Those people became what we call black people. For that, there was no black people in America. There was dark skinned people in America, but there was no black people. There was no Negroes. No, that's what I'm saying.
Uh
Show
huh.
me
Now
a Native
those
Americans
West
that's
Africans,
dark
they
skinned
mixed
with
with
beards and with
whoever
dreads.
was over here. Huh?
Show me
Uh
the
huh.
Native Americans with beard and the dreads.
Beard and dread.
You gotta show me the Native Americans with beards and dreads. If
Why
you
do I
pull
gotta
up
show
them
you that?
Bonaparte
So this is
murals,
what I'm
you're
saying.
gonna see
So
them dark-skinned people on the walls got beards and dreads. Those dark-skinned people down there don't have beards and dreads.
bro,
Well,
you're talking about
what the importance of beards
that.
and dread?
I don't know why, because that's not a representation of the whole population of the Americas, bro.
On
I never said it. I never said it was. Every black person you
All
see
right,
today ain't got dreadlocks.
exactly. So I'm
Can you
telling you, it
just
was
show
a
me the Native
distinction.
Americans down there with beards and dreads? Where's the tribe that are recognized as Mayans that have beards and dreads? What's up, baby? Some
I
switches.
don't, I don't know.
Hold on right quick.
I'm here to represent the people of African descent, not the Mayan descent. So I don't know.
Yeah,
Those
I'm
people
back.
that
I'm
came
back.
from West Africa, that was Negroes, those
All I'm
people
doing is
mixed
making a
with
clear
whoever was
distinction
there.
between the dark-skinned people that you claim are the ancients and the ones that are actually the ancients. That's all.
Well, Trip, let me ask you something. Do you believe or do you not believe that black people or brown skinned people were already here in the Americas? Yes or no?
Yeah, I said that already. Yes, they was, but they
Oh,
wasn't
okay,
to be
okay,
confused
okay.
with the West Africans.
Okay, well, I can agree with that. But you have
They
to
was
understand that
distinguishable.
these two so-called cultural connections were being made long before so-called slavery started.
No, they
We're
had
talking
different
about,
culture. These people are their own people, and we keep trying to mix them. That's my whole thing. We keep trying to mix
no,
them. Yeah,
but
these people, they had relations together. They had children together. Yeah, but there was an original
okay,
population,
so,
not to
so,
be
so you can
confused
see
with
that, right?
the West African population. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that in my
Oh, okay,
own
okay,
family tree.
okay,
I'm not, but I'm telling.
right,
All I'm
No,
saying is
and
these are two
and
different people.
nobody has said that that didn't happen. All I'm saying is, if something is a part of your culture, it's gonna stay a part of your culture. And if something is not a part of your
That's not
culture,
true.
then it's probably not your culture.
That's not true because we had
It's that
kids being
simple, bro.
taken.
You don't
We
forget
had
how you
kids.
doing once you move, just
No,
because
we
you
had
move from city to
we
city.
had we had
That ain't how
children
that
being
works.
taken. That you don't know how old they were. I mean, you had 3, 4 year olds. They don't know nothing about their culture when they was brought here to America. You laughing like for real?
So they so they came
You
over
could
here
take somebody's
and learned
child and teach
Indian
them whatever
culture,
you want.
and then the Indians started practicing their own culture. Is that what
What
happened?
what is what is this? What is this Indian culture? What are you talking about?
Down south culture, everything that we do.
That is not
What are you
Indian
talking about?
culture. What are you talking?
Hey
Explain.
man,
Go ahead.
hey,
Put
see
it
you
out
from New
there.
York, so that's what I understand because you don't really you ain't no country boy, so you don't really get it.
Listen,
But
my
Rico,
grandmother.
Rico,
you don't
Rico,
really
Rico.
get it.
Where you from? Where you from?
I was
Rico.
raised by my grandmother in the same house
Where,
as
where,
my
where y'all
mother.
from? Where y'all from?
New York. My
Where,
Uncle
grandmother's from
George,
New
Georgia.
York?
Yeah.
Rico, where
the
you from?
black for that motherfucker.
Where you from, Rico?
Uncle Georgia.
Georgia. Okay, yeah, you got that Georgia
So
slang. All right.
Rico, if the only way you could get out the conversation is saying I'm not from down south, so I don't get it. That's
No,
not really.
I ain't
You know
getting
what
out
I
the
mean?
conversation. Ain't no getting out
That's
the
not really
conversation. I'm
it,
just
bro.
saying as to why you don't understand that it's always
No.
been our culture because it's always been.
Like
That's all
what?
I'm
I'm asking
saying.
you. Give me some examples. Like what?
Everything we do, cause everything we do, we've
Well, if it's
always done.
everything, you can name one
We
thing.
picked up a couple things from the European, but other than that, everything we do, we've always done. That's the truth,
Well,
cause
let me ask y'all something. Y'all do know that the true Europeans, were black people, right?
No, they was not.
Yes, they were, bro. There's no so-called slave name like Smith or Johnson. Y'all see what? Look, I ain't trying to, throw salt on y'all, but well, as far as,
That's what I'm saying. Y'all make
but
everything black. Like, come on, bro.
no, but it is, bro. You
no,
gotta
I
understand,
ain't
white
trying to
folks
make
are taking
everything black.
our.
I ain't doing that.
Understand what I'm saying. Let me put it on the table because I'm very straight about what I know. I know what I know
No,
to be
because
what it
because
is.
what it
Hold
all
on,
turns
hold
out
on,
to
hold
these
on.
people are not West African, they're black Europeans. That's what you're gonna say. These
No,
people
I'm
that came to America are black
not.
Europeans. They're not
No,
West African. Anything not to be
no.
of African descent.
No, I'm
That's
not saying
crazy.
that. I take. Look, like I said, Africa begins and ends at the four corners of the world. I'm not taking anything away from Africa at all. What I'm saying is look beyond that as to how these people are where they are now and why they are claiming to be European and they're not, why they are claiming to be Caucasian and they're not, why they are claiming to be
Well,
what
So what are they then? What are
damn
they?
it.
Who are they? Where do they come
They,
from, man?
they,
They just came from
I
outer
already
space
told you.
in the
No, I just
1900s.
explained that a while ago. They are white people come from Dravidian but white people. Listen to what I'm saying. White people come from, as we know them today, right? Come from Dravidian Alabama.
No, I heard that. You're gonna say 4,000 years ago. I get that. So where was they from 4,000 years ago to now, or to when
They
they
were.
just popped
We
into
locked.
Europe?
We
When
locked
did they
our
get to
children
Europe?
up into the Asian steppe. They got strong enough. Hold on. Listen to what I'm saying. They got strong enough and made an alliance with the break past the Persian War that locked them in and kept them out of our Western Empire, better known as the Holy Roman Empire. The Holy Roman Empire was black, not white, not pale skin, not Tomahawk. So when they broke past the Persian War that locked them into the Asian steppe, they were able to infiltrate. And there were so many of them, and as you know, ain't no white boy or white group of people gonna beat us when we are united. And this is one of the things that I talk about in my book. When black folks are united, we beat the fuck out of everybody. When black people are divided, we lose because we're fighting each other. You feel what I'm saying? So there's an old African expression that says, "When two deaths, to the weak, that enemy comes in and takes us." Reason why we are where we are right now. United we stand and take over. Divided we fall and stay in the same shithole. Opportunity to kill every last fucking hunky in America. But what happened?
Nah. Yo,
We
hold on, hold
ended.
on. We can't.
Hold on.
No, no, just
No,
don't
wait.
say that. Yo, you can think
But,
whatever you want. All I'm gonna say is
okay.
that is not. I don't think that way. I just
Okay.
want
Well,
anybody
okay.
watching to
Well, sure.
know
Yeah.
I do not
Oh,
think
okay.
that way. I'm a
Okay.
non-violent
I'm sorry.
person. I do
Okay.
not think
Well,
that way.
okay.
The views that are expressed on this channel is not the views that belong to the owner of this channel. All right, go ahead,
Okay.
bro.
Well, I apologize. So what happened was during the Yamasee Creek Wars with the so-called Pale-skins, the Pale-skins were going to lose because the Yamasee were killing them. The only reason why they won was because the Creek Indians helped the colonists win. It has always been like that. Will always be like that. When another brother, the same happened with Hannibal a long time ago from Carthage. There was a brother that helped these so-called pale skins beat Hannibal. He almost won still. But the idea is that we are not, how you say it, we're very hard to beat when we are united. Let me put it that way. And so when they broke past the Persian War and got into our Western influence of the Holy Roman Empire, they were able to take that over. And this is where you get these pale skinned folks coming in. And so the Black Holy Roman Empire or papacy moved into France. And I cover this in detail too in my book. So it goes from Italy to France. So now you're getting into the French Revolution, the 30-Year War, 100 Years War. You get into Queen Elizabeth, and she was black as well. You know, I'm not talking about Queen Elizabeth II as we know her today. I'm talking about the original European royal family throughout all of Europe were black people.
Oh, no,
Okay.
yo, all right, come on.
Yes. No. Hold on. I'm gonna put a book that's free on your messenger. It's gonna come to me in a minute. But they give you the detail. This it just came to me. The secret something of damn it. The John Mackey. The secret something of John Mackey.
That sounds real
Look that up.
familiar. It
Yeah,
sounds
look
familiar.
that book up. It's free. You can download it and read it. What happens is you're getting first hand descriptions of admirals, of royalty, of politicians, all of these things that are happening in England, throughout Europe, that are coming over here. Now you got to understand that when we had control over these so-called pale skins, we had them locked down on in serfdoms, right? So you had first, if I'm getting it right, first you had the serfs, then that were ruled by landlords. This is where you get the word landlord. Then you get villains, which was a step up from the serf, because the serf were the villains. They had the access to the land, but in taking the resource of the land, but they still had to pay their dues, so to speak, to the king and then to the landlord who was over them. So when this so-called serfdom came over into the Americas, you got to understand there's like maybe 3,000 New York and England. So when King George, King James, hold on. When you hold on, but I'm trying to give you the general sense of what's happening. So when King James, who created the 13 colonies, he was black, along with his wife.
You were gonna say that. No, he was white.
No, he wasn't white. He was black. Look at it.
Oh my God! No.
The secret. No. You see, this is what you. No. Trip. Listen to what I'm telling. Just don't take my word for it. Look for that book, The Secret something of John Macri. It'll come up if you put in The Secret something of. But he described the king. King Charles, King George, King James, these were black men. White, you got to get that out of your mind. White folks weren't doing shit. The time the pale skins were under our rule.
In the 1600s, they definitely was. They definitely was.
Bro, white folks weren't doing anything. You gotta get the full. If you ever read book 1 of my book, The White Man's Burden of Lies and Deceit, 1. It's going to give you a really good foundation. It gives you a lot of links, link up to, and that you can read that feed into it that help support what I'm talking about, because I couldn't go on and on and on and on about the book. Book 2, how white folks were able to overcome their condition and began to take control of the state, local, and federal courts. And this is the reason why we get into the color of law. It's a law, but it's a law that you don't have to obey. And the reason why we lost so much of our economic power is because of the political angles in which white folks were able to erect and to suppress our political angle. So one thing is that you got to understand, we've always had the right to citizenship. It ain't never been one. There was no need for Brown versus Board of Education. There was no need for King dying, Malcolm dying, Everett dying, and all of these people who died in the civil rights movement of the 60s. There was never any need for the Civil Rights Act of the 1960s. The Civil Rights Act in 1866 covered everything.
Yeah,
to give you proof, to give you proof of that, there was a mixed race couple.
No, it did. No, you're right. It did.
Yes, it did, bro.
No, it did.
Yeah.
I said you're right. Hold on.
Okay, cool.
But what happened? The government didn't protect our rights.
Right, because they were using the white folks. That's what I'm saying. Right, the Jim Crow was always illegal. All they talk about, you gotta drink out of this fountain, you gotta use this bathroom, all that was legal. But the idea is that black folk, the bourgeoisie, which is what I would call them, what they call the Black Caucus in Congress, they know that shit is nothing but a bunch of bullshit. They could have ended this shit a long time ago, because by law, federal law, you cannot do, or they could not have done what they did if we knew and used the shotgun that we had. The 1866 Civil Rights Act covered it all.
Yeah.
But through ignorance not knowing.
Hold on. We got somebody new in here.
Okay.
Good, G. How y'all brothers doing?
Hey, what up, Claude?
What's that?
Cloa, right?
Kyle.
Oh, Kawa. Okay.
Yeah, this is a good brother. Me and him be chopping it up.
Yeah,
Hey,
what was that Subliminous Day joint that you pulled up?
oh, put it back up.
Yeah, I'm curious. What you bring that up for?
Oh, this is protecting the Indians. Something the Negroes didn't have.
Yeah,
I
that didn't
have,
work for the Indians either.
yo, but then you had other people. You had Bartholomew coming behind them. You know what I'm saying? Like this is a constant thing, constant representation.
And it's because they looked at Indians as actually having souls. So they said, we can save them. So don't enslave them, but they continue to do it anyway.
So so then even they knew that the other people was different, not the same.
Well, back then, yeah, because they decided to say that those people that in Africa, depending on, well, not really depending on which part, but those Africans didn't have souls.
Yeah. So I don't get why people try to say like, yo, you be switching up too, man. You
What you
really be
talking about?
switching up. You don't know what you talking about. You be switching up. Cause first time you be so now Africans came over. I know you be saying that, but I don't know. You be switching up a lot on me, I think.
The whole African thing is just we don't. The story it just don't sit right with me. Put it like that. I ain't denying that they came over here. It's just a lot of shit just don't sit right. Like when you can show me, oh, like you were showing the other day with your shit, oh, they're from Guinea or they're from Cromanti or like they're actually letting you know that these Africans came from this part of Africa.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Those people then they no longer become just that person because they're mixing with the other Africans that are here, and they just become solid Negro. And then their children, if you got you got two of them that come from over here, and they make that distinction, say this one they're both from Guinea, right? If they have a child here, guess what? That's gonna be a Negro born here. That's what they're gonna say about it. They're not gonna say he's not from here and he's gonna
So
be able
what?
to speak English, and they're just gonna call him a Negro and not a new Negro.
So what happened to all the non-African Negroes?
There is no non-African Negro. They're
Sure there
still
are.
African. No, they're still African by descent. Their parents, their grandparents, their great grandparents are African. They're
I'm
just
talking about
born
like
in
the
America.
I'm talking about like the Hindu people that got classified as Negro, the American Indian that got classified as Negro, people
Where?
that aren't of African extraction at all that were classed as
Like where
Negro.
though? I would have to see exactly what we're talking about.
Oh, let me see. I got a post on my IG with the Hindu shit. See if I can find it real quick.
Yeah, I
Yeah, it
put
was
that
like,
book on I'm sorry. Go ahead.
oh,
Hey,
no,
hey,
go ahead, bro.
Trip, I put the name of that book. It's called The Secret Services of John Mackey. So it's a free book that you can find online. You know what I mean? But you can order it from Amazon too for about $20. But it's worth it. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's The Secret Services of John Mackey.
So those Negro to terror, you're saying that they only called them Negroes because they were slaves. So if they weren't slaves, you saying they
Hold
never
on.
wanted to
I'm
be
not
called
saying that.
Negroes.
I'm saying that's
That's
what
what I'm
Jack D.
saying.
Forbes said. Jack D. Forbes said that. I'm
Jack D.
saying the
Forbes
person.
didn't say that. That's an interpretation of his words, what you're putting out. Jack D. Forbes didn't say that.
Yo, he gives one example, and it's about the slavery. What do you like? Come on, bro. He gives one example, and it's about slavery. You can't be.
Why the need to make a distinction then? If they're the same people, if it's only one group of
They're not the
Africans,
same people. They're not the
if
same people
if
for sure.
Africans created Negro, right, then it's only one group of them. It can't be a Negro to Terra and a Negro to Guinea. They will all be Negro to Guinea if it was only the Negroes from Africa that existed.
Yeah, Walter Plecker lived from 1861 to 1947, so he's very well active from the 1890s
Yeah,
up
but
until the time of his
he
death.
didn't do He didn't do that stuff until the 1930s.
Bro, he was doing that in the 1890s.
No, he
Forward.
wasn't.
Why not?
Because he wasn't. Because the date that they give is, I think, like 1931 or something.
No, he was the leader of the Anglo-Saxon Club, the white supremacist organization founded in Richmond in 1922. So he was very well active long before
You
1939.
ain't
With
highlighting
that,
Negroes of the land.
yeah, he changed a lot of Indian people and told the registry of the Virginia Bureau of Vital Statistics to change their Indian status to Negro.
Yeah,
So he
what year
played a
was
very
that?
critical role.
What year was that?
That was long before 1920.
No, I'm telling you, it was in 1930.
Yeah, I'm not.
It wasn't
Just
no
dropped a
1930,
source
bro.
link, well, a little link in the private chat, the StreamYard chat, about the Hindus being called Negro and how they actually fought against it.
All right, I'm gonna look at that. Let me just finish him real quick.
Uh,
So right here it says during the colonial period, Brazilian Indians were repeatedly referred to as Negroes or Negro de Terra, Negroes of the land. A
Uh-huh.
great many examples for the 16th and later centuries are cited by George Fradrisi and the analysis of Portuguese sources. They do not have to be repeated here, but suffice to say it was common that finally in 1755 a royal decree had to be issued as follows. Among the regrettable practices which have resulted in disparagement of the Indians, one prime abuse is the unjustifiable and scandalous practice of calling them Negroes. Perhaps by
Hmm.
doing so, perhaps by doing
But what?
so, perhaps by doing so, doing the intent was no other than to induce in them the belief that by origins they had been destined to be slaves of whites, as in generally conceded to be the case with blacks from the coast of Africa. So they
And
was
where does
calling them
where
Negroes
does the word Negro
from
come from?
it comes from Africa. It comes from them calling them Negroes in Africa, in West Africa,
No,
sub-Saharan Africa.
no.
Yes,
It
yes,
come from the no. That's what I'm saying.
yes.
You you
Listen,
you
bro.
you said it a
We
long
can go
time
to a
ago.
map. We can go to a
Oh,
map on 1375 with Mansa Musa on it. They're calling him the king of the Negroes, and you'll see right where he's at. He's in that Guinea, in that place that they call Guinea.
right. But the word Negro or Negro means black in Spanish. So this is where it's coming from. When
Yeah,
when when
and
the
they was
Spanish
applying it. They applying it to
and the
those people,
Portuguese,
bro.
right? But in their own
Right.
words and language, this is where the word comes from. It is a Spanish word. You know what I
nah,
mean?
they got that from the that's a Latinized version of the Tuareg word for the name of the Nile or the Niger River.
Yeah, well,
And
I
where's
mean,
that at?
we can go around in circles and say this, that, and the other. I mean, you can say Niger
The
is
point is
derivative.
the
I mean,
origin.
nigga, well, hold on.
The,
Let me say, let me take put this on the table, bro. You can say that the word nigger come from the word Niger because they weren't able to pronounce it correctly. You feel what I'm saying? The so-called Tomahawk or pale skin.
all right, but
So
where's
they
that at? Though?
huh?
Where is that? Where's the location of
What?
that at?
What? The Niger River?
Yeah.
It's in Africa. You know that.
All right then. So what are we like? What are we arguing about then?
No, no, I'm saying he was talking about the derivations of words that based on what I've read and my current knowledge. I'm always reading that you can take the derivation of the word nigger and link that to the word Niger because it is so close to it, and that pale skins weren't able to pronounce it correctly. You
That's
know,
fine. It still stems from that area.
right? But no, I'm not trying to take it out of there. I'm just saying that the derivations of words and how over time words change. You feel what I'm saying? It's just like the word black. Black means without color, BLAEC, but it changed to BLACK for
Well,
describing us as of today.
I think
But in
that's
the
another thing
beginning,
y'all messed up. But
yeah, but in the beginning, black meant were targeted toward the pale skins, not us. You feel what I'm saying?
I don't. Yo, Kawa, what you wanted to
Yeah.
look at on this?
Oh, you gotta can just read that a little bit of it because it goes into what was I think it talks about in 1680 when they got here in Maryland. They got classified. It was their daughter or some shit like that. They kept coming here or whatever, and they got classified as Negro. And then for the longest time, they decided to stop being called Negro because they seen that their shit could get snatched from them. And then in the long run, they ended up fighting for Asian Indian and all that shit back in like I think the '60s. They finally got it, but they were being classed as Negro also.
Hell, even Martin Luther were people trapped in our own homeland or something like that in his speech uh, in regard to that. So he was even aware that we are the true
Oh, it
Indians of
said.
this land.
Let's see what the comment is. Laws deny the ability for some reason.
So, but this what I'm saying. So in
Uh,
1680, what other classifications was there for?
that's what I'm saying. They only had what just Negro and free
Yeah,
whites
but
or
I
free
get
colors.
that. But you're showing me somebody who's not. They. But how does that Aboriginal though? I get
No,
it.
no, no. I
I,
wasn't saying I was Aboriginal. That's just
because
another group of people that was
so
classified as
what?
Negro who weren't African at all.
Right.
And I have seen African American being used in the 1700s,
Yeah, I never
going
said
back
that
that
shit
far.
couldn't happen, but it's not happening to 40 million Black Americans today that's trying to say they Aboriginal. And the only evidence you give me is somebody from a whole nother continent that came here and mixed with a white girl.
Hold on. Actually, see if it should pop up. This
Like I feel you.
Google
Yeah, you right about
cannibal
that.
Negroes. The Yeah, they called the Pequot the cannibal Negroes, and during that same time frame, the English were known to actually be calling Indians Negroes.
To the Pequot Negroes,
Pequot cannibal Negroes.
Pequot cannibal Negroes.
And that was one of their ways to be able to usurp that something subliminous day. Because if you're a cannibal, guess what? You no longer have a soul, and now we get the right to do whatever the fuck we want to you because we can deem you an enemy of our
Yeah,
Lord and Savior.
but even at this time, they wasn't pressed on the Negro shit, like or like I I get what you're saying, but let me see. Nah, because it, it's really not the same, bro. Hold on, what the fuck is this?
It's all about the caste system, man.
Hold on, is that Rico just popped into that? Kyle
Yeah.
came and bro gave him some life. He came and gave you some life. That's what I'm talking about.
I don't need no life, man. You done had this conversation. Boy, you shouldn't have caught. I want to hear that.
Everybody always want to say that. Uh,
But yeah, so how do you determine who's a Negro, even though the definition says Negro is African, but we got a bunch of people who aren't African at all who are classed under this word that says that you're African?
we don't have a bunch of people. We
Sure we
have right
do.
now. Hold on, right now we have it's one person. One person. I'm gonna find the other thing he was talking about. But this is also early. This is very early on, and they was then after that they get told to stop doing that. So it's like we're forgetting those parts, and I
Well, they
don't
also
think.
said that they stopped Indian slavery in the 1700s, but it continued.
Yeah, somewhat, but when them Indians went to court, they got their day in court. Negroes could not get their day in court.
They had to prove that they weren't Negroes.
That's fine. And then they proved they was Indians. They got free. A Negro, you can't prove
Some
you're
of
not a
them, yeah.
Negro. Well, of
What's
course
that?
not everybody. There was people that looked white that was labeled Negro and had to put in slavery, but they could they what they would say is that their great grandparent was a black woman or some shit. The whole
Yeah.
thing is that it's that African descent. It wasn't because you was Indian or you was white because you was enslaved. It was because of that Negro term that they put on you.
Then why would they make a distinction of Negro of African descent? That
Where?
means that Dred Scott case. He says he's a Negro of African descent. So that means that
So
there's
I don't
Negroes
think
who aren't.
so. Nah. They're not saying it the way you trying to say it, bro. Like there's a different
That's
Negro.
exactly what it says.
No,
That he's a
there's not
Negro
a.
of African descent.
The Negro is of African descent. Period. So why would they say
Then,
that?
then there would be no reason for them to make a distinction of him being a Negro of African descent if Negro just strictly meant African descent. That's like saying he's an African of African descent.
Nah.
He said, no sauce over here, Poppy.
Oh, he done left now, right?
Oh shit, did he? Oh damn.
Yeah,
Yeah, he'll be right back.
yeah.
But
But
yeah, you get what I'm saying, though, right?
right. I feel what you're saying, but I think we have to realize the interconnection and interplay between Africa, the continent, and the Americas, and how it was ebbing and flowing from
Damn,
one
I
to
got
the
to
other
cover
for
all
many,
this shit.
many millennia. It just wasn't happening just in the 1700s, 1600s. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's just been an
Hold
interplay
on.
between those two continents forever.
Hold on, man.
You had the Vikings who were black; they were coming back and forth. You had the
No. See,
Chinese and the
now y'all getting
Japanese.
crazy.
Oh, what do you say, not?
So now y'all just saying anything.
Yeah,
I'll leave y'all alone for 1 second. So I don't think it says the people. It says I don't think it says Negro. It says the court ruled that people of African descent. I don't think it says Negro of African descent. That
OHF got that shit on his page. 'Cause I was jumping on his ass about that exact thing.
I'm trying to find the actual text. When I find it, I'm gonna pull it up. That's what I'm trying to say. I think it.
I think you're a little mistaken there, bro. That what you trying to tell me? There he goes. There. There's that. I know you got it.
Okay, so it's like because he is a Negro of African descent, his ancestors were pure blood. All right, so this is I'm gonna show you exactly what they saying. You're right. It does say Negro of African descent, but let me show you this because boom, boom. Because what they would like they pointed out, there was uh Negroes who was born here, and then Negroes, but it doesn't. It's not. There is no Negro without being African, bro. Where's this shit at, man?
Even if they was born here, they still be of African descent, right? But the point
Yes,
is, why make a distinction of saying that they are Negroes of African descent if
I'm
there's
about to
no
show you.
besides just a Negro of African descent?
Because even at that time, you had people saying the same thing that you're saying, and they would talk about, yeah, you banned the slave trade from Africa because you stopped enslaving, bringing those Negroes over here, but you still got slavery going on here with these Negroes, and the only difference is that's one born here and one is born over there. but they still stem from the same place. Where the fuck is this shit?
So that brings me right back to my initial spot.
The origin is they all what? Yeah, that they of African descent. Even if they might have been here for 7 generations at this time.
And even so, if they've been here for 10 generations, if they were found to be of African descent, they would have been a Negro of African descent, which still leaves that there's other Negroes who ain't African.
No, it doesn't. You're just trying to imply that. It doesn't mean that. It doesn't. You're just implying that.
All right, so why would you just make sure that they let you know as a Negro of African descent if all Negroes are of African descent, regardless if they're recent or ancient?
I don't know. That's their wording, but you're trying to imply that there's something different. I get what you're saying. It's a good point if you just want to confuse shit,
All right,
but
if
it really has no bearing on it.
you're gonna get confused and think I'm talking about a European or French descent.
So that's like because you got France is in Europe, right? So
I
what
don't
are you
know.
talking about?
Do distinctions though. A European of German descent and a European of French descent. You're not going to get those two conflated.
Oh, but no, because right
Nah, but
after they say no, right after they say his ancestors were of pure African blood and were brought into this country.
mm-hmm.
Okay, so what?
That's describing his descent from Africans.
So, but there is no, bro. You don't get Negro without the African. I can't get around that.
Right.
Where?
Being as Negro is also mentioned as meaning slave. That could mean
No,
slave of African descent when you put it into that context.
no. What we're talking in the 1850s.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking in the 1850s right now. We're in the 1850s.
Yeah. 1819,
No,
South Carolina stated that it was meant slave.
when?
Export.
Don't do that. That no.
Don't
The guy
tell me
wrote in a pamphlet. He
we
wrote in a
don't.
pamphlet. You talking about O'Brien, bro? He wrote in a
Not
pamphlet.
the court case, not O'Brien's thing.
What are you talking about now?
It's ex parte Leland. Hold on.
And what he say?
Give me 1 second. I'll find it. All right, there we go. All right, it is not the color of the slave, but his social status, which determines him to be a Negro under our laws. All slaves, whether black, brown, blue, or mulatto, or albino, are Negroes in the meaning of our laws. Transcript of trial from Dick versus State. And then we get into Ex parte Leland, which states that the word Negro has a fixed meaning, slave. See also State versus Warrington, 3 Delaware,
So
Harrington,
where
5.
they get these slaves from?
If you want to go back to South Carolina, they Berbers.
No, now O'Brien is not the law. He wrote about a 1740 law 100 years later, bro. A
Yeah,
hundred and like 8 years later, 4 years later, some shit.
yeah, he summarized it, and he
No,
used.
no, he didn't, because when you go back to that 1740 law, it doesn't say that. It does not say Africans are from Berber, Negro African or Berbers. It does not say that in the 1740. So he added that. It does not say that in the 1740. Hello? I'm gonna show you where they got these Africans from. Or these let me show you something. Where's this shit at? Everybody quiet now? Man, what the fuck I got this shit saved? Kyle, you there? Yeah.
The fuck? You
Yo.
can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now.
I don't know what the fuck happened. I've been sitting there talking this whole goddamn time.
Oh, no, I ain't hear nothing.
But yeah,
So where did these slaves come from?
I'm going to say the Barbary Coast.
Are you serious? So when I all the stuff I be showing you with Angola, and you really gonna say that?
No, 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 no. I'm saying the reason why he came up with that and because of his court studies that he did of the cases previous to him. That's why he said ancient Berber. So I thought you was talking about where's he saying they came from.
No, I'm saying where. No, not him. Where are they coming from?
Hold on a second.
See, I show primaries, man. I don't just talk. I gotta show the primaries, man. Yo, Isaiah, can you see this book? You did?
Yeah, yeah, I did.
So do you see where it says it's from 1586?
Well, it's not that clear.
You see right there?
15, right, uh-huh.
You see it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh, so this is a book about. It's like what does it say? It's Drake manuscript, the title, history, natural Indies, Death Indies is down. So it's about the Indies. And he documents like things that he sees when he first comes there. Like
Mm-hmm.
this is a plant, and let's say it says this is garlic, which is sweeter than that of France. You know what I'm saying? Just goes on and on, right? He's talking about
Uh-huh.
different flowers, different plants. You know what I'm saying? This is stuff he
Right.
went and documented. So let's so yeah, what page is this? This is 86. Says a woman breast and wheat kernel and a wood and water provides a very white flour which makes good nourishment for bread. Right? So this they saying this is Indian woman. She got nice
Uh-huh.
color to her, right? Nice color to her.
So go
No
back
problem.
again. Sure.
Let me zoom in.
Okay.
You see it better?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Alright. Here we go. Now you see these people. It's on page 100,
Uh-huh.
right? Down 100. So 99. All right, this is 100. So it's you on the next page, right? So you see this. It says continue from 99,
Mm-hmm.
right? So this is this page. This is what's written on this page. So this is what's written on down here. Is what's written on this page. It says this region is very dangerous. The Negroes live there only a short time, and no day and night passes without rain. Yada yada yada. You see, you say the Negroes live there, right?
Well, okay, how the Negro lived there only a short time and no day and night passes without rain. Uh-huh.
So this is who they drawing as the Negroes, right? All right. Let's go
Okay.
to the next page. So you see, there's more writing on this page. So it's going to say continued from page 100, right?
Uh-huh.
Continued from page 100. So it's talk. So it says the Spanish do not force nor permit the Indians to work in these mines, for the fear they should know the value of the gold. For knowing it, they would go to war and chase them out the country. The Spaniards buy a great number of Negroes from Africa. to serve them as slaves. And when the Negroes have finished the day's work in a group of 8 or 10, there is at an exit of the mines a half a barrel filled of water. I'm not gonna read no more, but look up here.
Right, right.
You see the Negroes coming out the mine. Got the
Mm-hmm.
they bringing the gold. This is who they say they got working from Negroes from Africa, and they even say they don't even got the Indians working. You read that, right?
Okay.
It says the Spanish do not force the or nor permit. Look, the Spanish do not force nor permit Indians to work.
Mm-hmm.
So in this
Now,
drawing,
for
this
fear that what? Now, go back for a minute. For fear that what?
for fear they should know the gold. For knowing it, they would go to war
Oh,
and
okay.
chase them out the country. Because mind you,
Oh, okay.
this is their
Yeah.
land.
Uh-huh.
But you see these what you would call black people on this page and on the last
Uh-huh.
page, these are not Indians. These are
Uh-huh.
Negroes from Africa.
Okay.
That's my
So
point.
you
And they're
okay.
trying to say like this didn't happen. They said they got them
Wait.
from Africa as slaves.
Mhm.
I wish Kyle was here. I hope he heard this.
Yeah, yeah. I say I'm still there. I don't know if he's there.
Because this is in 1586.
Uh-huh.
So
So,
there's no confusion.
well, we're not saying that the Spaniards did not have any so-called workhorses or African coming from the Americas. I'm yeah, coming from Africa to the Americas.
No, but that's what
But
they
let me
are
let
saying though. That's what they are
right.
saying.
But yeah. But let me put it on the table for you. The first so-called Spaniards that came to the Americas was who?
Well, what do you mean who?
Supposedly,
No, they was white.
Christopher Columbus,
Yeah,
right?
and they was white.
No, Christopher Columbus was black,
No, he was not.
bro. You gotta get it out your mind that white folks weren't that white. They weren't built to go
Listen,
anywhere. Listen to what I'm saying. They were not nautically smart. We created the longitude and latitude.
all
Black
right, but
folks.
me
Li-
saying
li-
that they're white. No, hold on. Me saying that the
Yeah.
Spaniards were white is not saying that black people didn't show them how to navigate the waters, bro. Because they
No,
came over
but
here with black people.
the
The
Spanish were
first
black
black
people,
person,
bro. This
the
was a
first
black on
black
black
person
crime.
over here was a free person. Juan Portugal. You got the year 1500, you got a black woman documented building a hospital here. She was free.
Hmm.
They called her a Negro woman. She
Hey,
was of African descent. So I don't. You got me confused, man. But I'm telling you, Christopher Columbus was
but,
still white.
no, bro, he wasn't
Yeah,
white.
yes
He
he was.
buried right here in the Dominican Republic.
Yeah, I know.
He buried right. Yeah, he was black. You
He was
gotta
a white
look.
man.
No, no. Look, it was perhaps the worst black on black crime, if I can put it that
No, it was not a black on black
way.
crime.
Black, bro.
Black
When
people
Christopher
are
Columbus, no,
conscious because
listen,
you do
no,
got the
listen.
black conquistadors, but you're not gonna do that, bro.
See,
You had
you're not even taking into consideration what I want to say.
no, cause this isn't the first time I heard this. I don't mean I'm not trying to be disrespectful, bro. My bad if you feel like
Oh
I'm
yeah,
cutting
yeah,
you off.
no, I understand.
Cause it's not the first time I heard this. So
Uh
I
huh.
apologize. So instead of you don't gotta explain everything to me. You can just get right to it. Cause I did hear a lot of this before. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? So those Europeans that came over, that like you got the Portuguese, Henry the Navigator, that conquest in Guinea, and then you got the Spaniards that came over here in the Americas. Those are
And,
white people.
and what was the Battle of Guinea about again? Wasn't the Battle of Guinea about gold and slaves? And ain't they in America looking for the gold? They ain't in Africa looking for the gold?
They go everywhere looking for gold.
Man, what in mine's at? What we looking at right now?
Yeah, it's gold mine. What's the point?
So the better. Okay.
Oh, you have missed
Yeah,
it,
you
Rico.
want to see? You know who's working in them gold mines? Those are
Yeah,
Africans in the gold mines.
he had missed that part, Chris. He wasn't online with us. But look, let me put this on the table. All right, because I get matter of fact facts and how important they are. Number one, black folks rule over white folks for them to 1492. We did not. They did not get us off of them until the 1880s. It took them 400 years to learn how to read and write and build because they had no knowledge of building anything. No nautical knowledge, no medical
You,
knowledge,
you said
no
my bad, my bad.
astrological.
You
Yeah,
said 1880.
white folks.
You
No,
said
no, no.
1880.
Yeah, right, right. You have to understand, Trip. And this is what I talk about. If you ever get my book, it's an ebook. Just read it and be open-minded to what I'm saying. You got to understand these pale-skinned Tomahawks were beneath us. We had no respect for them at all. We gave them no rights at all. When you talk about human rights during the time of Constantine and his manifesto, that is for white folk that we gave them their so-called human rights. Black folk ruled over white folk like they were absolute dogs. We had no law. We separated them. We killed them. We sold them as slaves. We had prostituted their women in North Africa and the harems of North Africa. We took skins off their back and made book binders. This is what the King James Bible is made out of, all out of the skin of white folks, dead white folks. You feel what I'm saying? We had no respect for these people at all. Our children at all. So when you look at the whole bigger picture, this is what, and I can't really talk about it in no minutes or hour. You feel what I'm saying? It takes a while in order to get a whole nother understanding and a whole nother side of the foundation in which, from a historical perspective, you and other people who don't see it need it. No, I'm not just running off at the top of my lip or at the side of my neck about what Christopher Columbus was black, that Constantine was black. Were wars that were not only fought between black and black people, but we were talking about the freedom of these so-called Tomahawks or white folks who were trying to get away from the oppression. They were trying to get away from. They were trying to get away from King Charles. They're trying to get away from King George. Yeah. So when you look at the bigger picture, you begin to see it. Because there's no way in the world that white folk can beat us at anything. And it ain't never happened in history. The only reason why they win is because we fight amongst ourselves. And like I was saying, there's
So
an
out of
old
everything you said, everything you said, I agree with that part right there.
right. Okay. So
So
so so
I don't
yeah.
know why.
But
I don't know why like people that have that. I know that we want to make this history and we say that they changed it, which they did change things and shit like that, but the overall they didn't change it. These people that had this colonized mind state were these the same white people we see today. They didn't just pop out of thin
no,
air, bro.
no. I
They
didn't
did
say
not
that
just
they
pop
pop out
out
of.
of
I explained to you
no,
where they come from.
no,
They
but
come
what
from
you no
Brazilian albino.
no, hold on,
Brazilian
but
albino.
I'm
I
talking
tell you,
about
hold
in
on. Wait,
American
let me just
history.
put it.
Hold
Okay,
on,
go ahead.
hold
Okay,
on.
go ahead. Go
I'm
ahead.
talking
Go
about they
ahead.
didn't pop up. They didn't just pop up in American history. They came
Right.
here in 1492 and kept coming here. I don't know why you trying to like
No,
separate.
I'm not saying
No,
that
you
they did.
are. So did they
No,
come
I'm
with
not. I
Columbus?
didn't.
When you
Did
get a
they come?
chance, look up the Do Hair tribe.
The Do
Yeah,
Hair tribe?
the who what?
When you
Say
look
that
up,
again, bro.
when you get a chance, look up the Do Hair.
How you
Duhare.
Duhare?
You know, white folks started coming here after King James established the colonies, bro. They worked the fields of tobacco and sugar. They came over as serfs. As I don't care if you want to call a serf a slave, a serf is still a slave. They were serfs in Europe, and we brought that system over to the Americas. King James was bringing. You got to understand that the Europeans that were coming over here were black people. The Jews that were coming over here were black people. They weren't white. You feel what I'm saying?
So when did they turn white? Because
Wait,
these,
listen to what I'm saying. What I'm saying, because trying to explain it in an hour and
can you just
2 hours.
answer
No,
no
no.
this
Yeah. I did.
that question. When
Yeah.
in
They
American
came
history, when did they
in
become white?
America. In America, it started in the 1780s with Christopher Gatson. I covered it extensively in my book. The
So
term
look,
white.
no look, I know, no, I'm
Mhm.
not talking about the term white. I'm talking about these people phenotypically looking like these white people that we see today. I'm not talking about the
Uh-huh.
term. I know the label of them being white gets applied way later in American history. Yeah, I'm not.
Uh-huh.
That's not. But that's. So now it's like you're playing the label game and then the
Mhm.
color game because you're saying these people are black only because they're not labeled white now. Phenotypically, they
White
are
people are
not
nothing
black
but bleached
people.
out. White people are nothing but bleached out niggas. That's it.
Phenotypically, they're not. They're the same as these white people today. They're not black. They're not. They don't look like black people. They're the same. Christopher
No, because they're
Columbus
not
black.
gonna, bro. In the black woman, there's every phenotype.
Yeah, I get
For
that. I
which
get that.
all, yeah,
But the
okay. Now you
phenotype
got
that these
that.
people, no, but the phenotype that these people are and
Yeah, they come from
that look like
white
are
people
these white
phenotype
people.
come from black people.
Yeah, but that's not but bro, that's a long time ago. So
That ain't no
now
long time ago. It's now.
you
It's
can't keep
now.
jumping. You can't jump back and forth like that, man.
Oh, but you
Hold
got
on,
there's
wanted
no
to
break. Uh huh.
Rico wanted to talk about something. He said the Duhead tribe. So living near Shakara or this South Carolina. Uh, in South Carolina and Georgia was Duhead tribe who were predecessors of the Creek Indian tribe. They were different from native other area natives, very different. They were Caucasian, had red or brown hair, and hung on their heels, freckles, gray eyes, and they were mostly taller than other natives. Most men wore mustaches, and the high leaders wore beards. They herded domestic deer. Yada. All right, they said it's Caucasians. But when did they get there? Hold on, I've seen something else. Let me go to the wiki. The Wankama. Yo, Isaiah, that's the Wankama.
Nah, they ain't got nothing to do with no. Well, it leads into Francisco de Chicora, and he was noted or possibly be Guacamole, Catawba, one or the other. But they eventually helped Lucas de Elyon, Pedro de Queso, and Fresco Gordillo enslave the Chicora Indians for Lucas de Elyon. The Duher Indians, according to what they're saying, that's who led the Spanish onto the enslavement of the Chicora
Right.
Indians. The only
Yeah, and
reason
the
that I mentioned them, is because y'all were talking about the white folks. So, I just pulled on the white folks.
yeah, the Elyon was the first
Uh,
Portuguese or European who brought black people into the America long before 1619. So
hey, say that
that's
again.
what I was talking about. What Rico was saying, Elyon, Ayllon. He was the first European. He was black as well that brought so-called black people or from from uh, from West Africa into the Americas. But you have to understand too that the West African, not just strictly West African.
So what
There's
did
been
the
a
white
mix.
man do? So hold on, hold
He didn't
on.
do.
If he didn't do anything, why you hate him so much then? He
No,
didn't
I
do
didn't say.
nothing to you.
Hold on, player. Hold on. I'm with you.
He
I'm with
didn't do nothing to you.
No,
It
but
don't make no sense.
no, but he did. The thing is that but
Oh,
the danger to us took place over the last 150 years or so, and that was through political power that translated. I'm sorry, the economic power into political power, where they were able to uh, um, uh, put into effect laws and regulations that limited our economic base. And as you know, we had Black Wall Street all over the Americas. We were kicking ass and taking in the black dollar, the black community 30 times or 40 times before it left. In the white community, as we know them to be today, it barely made it out one time, if at all. You know what I mean? So they had to hate on us and to erect laws to benefit them and began to circumvent our economic base and putting it down to virtually nothing. And our political aspirations went from congressmen and senators and presidents down to basically nothing. So, when you look at book one of mine and then you go into book two, it really cements it all as to getting you a really good foundation as to what happened and who did what, when, why, and how. The color of laws that were put into effect that helped white folks get ahead of black people because they were jealous. They have always been jealous of us. Will always be jealous of us because we're just better. Even under these conditions in which we are still thriving and doing better than them. Just imagine if we have the economic and political restraints that they put on us were there. We would be running it like, and we're still running it, but we'd be running it like you could never even imagine. You feel what I'm saying? So we're getting back to that. You feel me? And we're understanding that what our ancestors went through wasn't necessary, and that this border education wasn't necessary. This thing about the civil rights of the 1960s wasn't necessary to have. And so a lot of these things that are taking place are due to these bourgeois niggas are working at the behest of these tomahawks or pale skins to keep them in power, and as they their little crumbs off the table, that is slowly but surely falling off the table into the mouths of the so-called black population of America. But we just don't know that these color of laws were basically not even legal. We just thinking, well, we couldn't go into no bathroom, or well, we couldn't go here, we couldn't go there. You know what I mean? That's some bullshit. But at the end of the day, and this is the reason why I fight so hard to say that this CRT and how white folks getting all bent out of shape, what their history is, ain't shit. White folks talk shit because they know they come from shit, because they know they talk shit. You feel what I'm saying? And each and every time I try to get on this white station about this, they don't have me on it because they got to put forth my book cover, which is a motherfucker. It got a white woman with a tail. These folks are way off the chart in normal genetics. They're something. But these people grow tails, man. I ain't got no hair on my body. You feel what I'm saying? These people are hairy. These people got ways about them that are way off the chart. They have
But they didn't.
brock.
They didn't do
Hold
nothing to
on.
you. They just
No.
came on the
Listen to what I'm
scene.
saying. No, listen to what I'm saying. I'm very economically comfortable. But I'm talking about you can't take Michael Jordan or Whoopi Goldberg or Oprah and say, well, look at them. Can't you be, it ain't happening like that. You feel what I'm saying? There was something that was done to the black community that you cannot negate. You can't negate it
Right.
and say, well, you niggas just lazy. It ain't happening like that. White folks are the laziest motherfuckers on the goddamn. They didn't get to where they are because they pulled themselves up the track. They cheated their fucking way to the top, and they kept that. At the end of the motherfucking day, niggas gonna always be better than them, economically speaking, spiritually speaking, and politically speaking, and whatever the kind of motherfucking way that you can think of. We have always strived, and we'll always be what we are, the best of what we want to be, the best in, and we have always dominated. And if it wasn't for the policies, laws, and regulations that took into effect after the 1880s, when white folks began to say, well, hey, if we get in control of the U.S. Supreme Court, that's the law of the land. We can change the land and manipulate it and to hinder black folks and help white folks. This is where you get into these Irish that were coming over, and they were treated like niggas. They were treated worse than niggas. But due to the so-called whiteness that took place, and I covered that in the book as well, that all of these so-called Italians and Dutch, and these were all black folks. They were brown-skinned folks that eventually became associated with this so-called white club. In other words, Benjamin Franklin said it best. We cannot, do not want, I'm just a word to it, but you can look at what Benjamin Franklin said. We cannot have the poorly complected people coming in, the Swiss, the Danes, the Irish, the whole nine, coming into our paradise because what? They escaped the death toll and the death grip of the black elite in Europe to find their holy land that where they could grow and multiply in America, North America. So Benjamin Franklin put it very plainly, and he was an escaped slave, a debt slave. There were a lot of these so-called.
No, he was not an escaped slave.
He was. Look, listen what I'm telling. Listen what I'm telling you. I'm not just running off the top of my lip and saying things that ain't true. But listen. Yeah, see what he escaped slave. I'm telling you.
Man,
White folks, when white folks look, listen to what Trip, listen what I'm telling you. When white folks got here, they weren't free.
Bro.
I don't give a damn if it was a contract for 1 year, a contract for 10 years.
Wasn't getting no contract.
No.
Listen, y'all gotta stop doing that. No, it's not the same because you're actually.
But wait, hold on, player. Hold on, I'm with you. Just listen to what I'm saying.
It's 50,000 runaway slaves every year that was running away. They didn't have no contract. There was no light at the end of the tunnel. And I can't keep listening to y'all say that. These white people.
What you mean? Like missions didn't exist? Like people didn't get missions? What you talking about? Ain't no light at the end of the tunnel and all this stuff.
That's if they gave it to you. That's if they gave it to you.
These
people before manumission.
Look, giving it to you. It wasn't like going with the wind. It wasn't like there was never no going with the wind. Do you know that? Well, listen to what I'm saying, Trip. It was never no going with the wind situation where you have black over white. It wasn't like that. Let me give you a good point. There was a white guy, a news, what do you call them people? Taking notes or whatever. You know what I'm trying to say. He went down south. He went down in Alabama or something like that, and he was invited to a stage play, right? You have black and white in the audience, and he looked over to the so-called black section, and he saw this lily white group of white folk that he would associate to be white, and he turned to his guest. He said, "Why are these white folks over there sitting with the?" Well, they're not white. They're black.
That white and black
Well,
thing,
no. Wait. Listen what I'm saying. Well, his great grandmama, a great grandfather was in black. And then he looks over into the white section, and they got a whole section of dark skinned black folks, right? And he said, well, are those, wait a minute, no, they're white. They're not black, they're white. Oh, they explain that. So it wasn't all cookie cutter black versus white, man.
No,
There
it
were black
wasn't.
people
It's
who
not.
were, no, listen what I'm
It's
saying,
not
Drew.
cookie cutter.
No, but listen what I'm saying. There would never ever a gone with the wind situation. What's the name of that woman?
Yeah, but that's not. Listen.
No. Listen what Babe Ruth was black, bro. When and he got away with that shit because he looked white or whatever the case may be. Mae West was a black woman. She would come back into the black community and laugh her ass off and say that whenever she go down
I don't know
in
who Mae
the
West
South, you know who Mae West is. But what I'm saying is, there were black people who were coming over from France,
Yeah,
black
but
as me
okay.
and
So
you.
listen, hold on, bro.
Listen what I'm no, but let me finish.
Yeah, because
Black as
black
me and
people
you,
got
Germany,
Africans got taken to France too. Africans
but
got
they were
taken to
considered to
Germany
be white.
too.
Were not from the America that they so-called white people began to establish. So they began to use
No.
that as a separation tool. And like I was saying, Benjamin Franklin said it. These people who were coming from Germany, who were coming from France, who were coming from Switzerland, who were coming from the Danes,
That's
the Dutch.
saying
These were
Swarthy and
black
Tawny.
people,
No, but
swarthy
that's not what
complected
that means.
people.
That's what I'm saying. Y'all be taking
Bro, these were swarthy
Al
complected
Capone.
people.
Listen, yeah, Al Capone was described as swarthy. Though, so was Babe Ruth. These
Yeah,
are not just listen. No, these are. You understand? There's very very white people, very pale people, and then there's white
but,
people who are like olive skin color. They call
but,
those
but
people.
wait, hold on,
They
wait,
call
hold
them
on.
swarthy and
Wait, hold
tawny and
on, player,
shit.
hold on. You just said it. You just said that at your mouth. I ain't trying to trap
Yeah,
you.
but they're not
But
black people.
olive skin means black skin. There ain't no green,
No, it
so there ain't
doesn't. No,
no.
there's no.
An olive
We're
is
talking
black,
about
is it not?
no. We're talking about that Mediterranean color, that white person that can tan.
But, 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 but,
Yes,
but,
bro,
but,
that's
but,
what we're
but, but,
talking
but,
about.
but,
White people come in
but
different shades too, bro. They come in
okay, but
different
they
shades
ain't
too.
white. See, you
Yes,
gotta
they
get
are.
this. Then,
Yes, they are
bro,
white.
okay.
Yes, they
Let me
are.
ask you something. Let me ask you something. How do you define white? Let me ask you that. So we can be on
These
the
people
same
of
page.
European descent.
Wait, no, European means black. So
No, it
the true
doesn't. No,
Europeans,
it doesn't. No,
Europeans were black people,
No,
bro.
no.
The
So
true
I'm gonna tell you.
Europeans were black people. That's a
No,
fact.
stop, bro. That's so you separated from 10,000 years, man.
No, it ain't. No, it
Yes, it
ain't.
is. Yes, it is. Yes,
Well, then what
10,000
is
years ago,
then
those people.
why
But
is it?
that's
Hold
not
on, player.
European
Hold
culture.
on.
These people that
See,
created
you got
European
European
culture
culture,
are
you got
pale skinned
Asian
people.
culture, you got Caribbean
Yeah,
culture,
the
you got
people who
Pacific
created
Island
European
culture.
culture.
Right.
Well, we're talking about European culture. Those people
Uh huh.
who created the Catholic Church. Those people that created Christianity. Those people
They didn't
that
create
went on.
black folk
Hold
created
on, stop.
Christianity, bro.
I'm not. All right, I'm not even gonna go there. Forget the Christianity part.
Oh,
I'm
man.
not even going there. Those people
Okay, I know what you're
that
saying. I feel what you're saying.
those people
But go
that
ahead,
went out
go ahead.
and created those doctrines of discovery. Those people that
Mm-hmm.
went on conquest to West Africa and to America for just to exploit the people in the land. Those people are the same people you see today.
No, they're not.
I can't. Yes, they are.
No, they're not, Trip. I'm telling you, man. When Christopher Columbus came to the America, he didn't do
They didn't
anything at first.
change.
Hold on. Let me finish.
No, he didn't have to.
To the
They
America.
treated him like
No.
somebody who came from heaven.
But due to the
They thought he came
diversa,
from heaven.
due to the dumb diversa and the Pope was saying, well, if these people weren't Christian, they weren't accepting Christ, kill them. Had nothing to do with color of the skin. It had everything to do
I
with the
didn't say anything
religious.
with color of skin.
No, but okay, but what I'm trying to say is that That second time around when Christopher Columbus, that's when he started killing. But at first, the second
At
trip,
first, he was
he
just
came
taking
to
ships
no,
and took
no,
people and
listen to
took
what I'm saying.
things.
Let me. That second trip, he brought from the America, from the Dominican, of what we know to be Dominican Hispaniola, to Africa, to Europe. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, he didn't take a
To
lot though.
Spain, no, he took a hell of a lot.
No,
It
he didn't.
ain't like he took one or two.
He
He
took
took
like
a hell of a lot,
16. No,
and it wasn't just that one time. It was many a trip
it wasn't
after
no
that.
millions though. It wasn't millions
I
though.
wasn't. I'm
It
not
was not.
saying millions. It was
Okay, but listen,
thousands.
I get. We could. That's a whole nother thing though. I'm still trying to get my
Right.
focus
Okay.
on these people not being black.
But how? Okay.
The
Well,
people.
explain to me because I want to make sure I'm on your same page. Well, I'm on your team, but I want to understand what is black to you because I'm a different
So
perspective.
black.
So
It's
explain
not.
to.
It's not. We could understand who was of European descent and who's not, right?
Mm,
We we we
okay.
we can see them and tell. They're the same people that we call white today. The people who are in the Republican Party, people who are in the
Mm,
Democrat Party, those white people that come in very different
like yeah,
shades,
like.
heights, weights. Those people of European descent. Those are the same people.
Mm.
Those are the same people who came here.
And
That's what I'm trying to.
what is okay in your mind? What is Europe in your mind or European? Is it just strictly England, or does it include the Dutch, the Irish, the Swiss, the Spain, and France, and every other place, Italy?
Yes, all of that is Europe.
Oh, okay.
But
All right.
those people they flew on a different flag, so they wasn't even one person at a point in time.
Okay.
That's
Well,
why you had
you
England.
know what I'm gonna do. You know what I'm gonna do, Trip? I don't want to cut you off. I'm gonna hook you up with two people. One is a bona fide Yamasee Indian, and you can talk to him. And the other one, I don't know if you ever heard of him. He's known as a seer, and then I'm gonna hook you up with him, and he can give you, more. Y'all can talk, just talk in general, and then
Yeah,
I'm gonna the guy who he's on YouTube. Give me that. I'm gonna. I can't think of this brother's name, but he does an excellent. I don't want to say display, but he does an excellent critique or analysis or the breakdown of who did what and what they look like and all that. But you need to really, if you got a chance, read my book, read book one. If you like it, read book two. But uh, these three guys, man, I just don't talk to no poop butt motherfuckers. You know what I mean? These guys know they shit like I know my shit. You feel me? So if you're saying that the people in America want black, they'll give you the foundation that tells you that they're black. All right? Just keep an open mind. They'll tell you that the true Europeans were black people. Just be open minded to it. Don't be closed minded to it, and they'll give you the facts. Now, in respect to the book I put on your messenger, the Secret Service of John Mackey. That is an absolute must to read. You got to buy that book. You got to highlight it and take a pen and talk and notate what these people are being described as. You know what I mean? Yeah, you're talking about the royalty of Europe. You're talking about the admiral. You're talking about the members of parliament
no,
in
but I
England.
understand. I understand that they use words like fraud
Yeah,
and
but
black.
what I'm saying is that these people coming from Europe were black people that were coming into the America that
Yeah,
brought their white
but
slaves
They
with
hold
them.
use
on.
words like black too, though. They
I said
Yeah,
sometimes
black.
talk
yeah,
like saying
I
yeah,
black.
said
yeah.
black.
Right.
Hold on.
Okay, go ahead.
But this is what I'm trying to explain before. There's not just one shade of white. These white people come in different shades. and they express
Yeah, but see,
things.
okay, what do you
They
mean by
express the
shade,
same.
Blair? What do you mean by shade?
I told you
That
that
they
before. You
were
got
brown
pale
skinned white
ones. You
people?
got
They
pale
were
ones
brown skinned
like
white people?
I wouldn't say not brown, but you got white people that can tan, and you got ones that can't.
Wait, man, how do you sound, man? Come on, man.
Come
Come
on,
on,
man. No, no.
Trip.
What are
Are
you talking
you
about?
smoking crack? Are you smoking crack right now?
Definitely not.
I
Nah.
don't.
You wildin'. So look, do I have to show you? I'm gonna show you since.
Well, yeah.
Look,
Show me
yeah.
a tan skin white man.
Okay. I got you.
And I ain't talking about George Hamilton either.
Yeah, but you remember when I DM you about Horace King though? That's what I was talking about. Like, for example, him. Like, I saw what you had up there, African Creek. I don't know Mr. Jones' story, so I haven't checked out his genealogy, so I can't say for a fact, right? But I have looked into Horace King's genealogy, and I know he Indian and European. The man ain't African, but they
Mm.
put that African sticker on him shit because he's dark skinned.
All right, that's fine. That still doesn't change the definition of the word. Like when you bring up these one one time examples, that doesn't change the word where it comes from.
That's just not a one-time example, and that don't mean that where it come from either, because
Under the
it's a
law, but
Spanish
see,
word
but
for black.
under all right, so but certain times under the law, there's a time period where um
Did the
the color of
Spanish
your skin.
discover the color black when they went into Africa? Did they have to leave Iberia and go down into North and West Africa to find out what the color black was? I'm sure they
No, they
didn't.
did not.
No, they
No,
didn't.
they
No, they
didn't.
did
So,
not.
so,
No.
so they
Yeah.
just naturally had a color black and they called it Negro. So when they saw dark
Mhm.
skinned people, they called them Negro. Like, come on, man.
So no, because they already was dealing with dark skinned people. So that's not exactly everything. These people are from a different place. It's not just because they're black, it's from where they're from also. Even though they had the word black, but they wasn't
If
necessarily applying it to people.
if American Indians weren't associated with Negro or black or colored, why were they the ones usually being referred to as nigger, according to the Oxford Dictionary? I believe that's number 3. That'd be definition number 3. You go to Oxford Dictionary, definition of a nigger. You go to number 3. You're gonna see it's usually
And
offensive for
it
American
says
Indians. It's not usually offensive, for Africans, and we on American soil. So I'm trying to figure out, we the ones being called niggas. So what? You know?
I don't know.
So you don't know that you're Indian.
Say that again. I don't know. I'm
I
an
don't think
Indian.
I better trip
So
on
you don't know that you're an Indian. You don't know that you're an Indian.
I'm not an
I'm a,
Indian.
I'm a Indian. I
I
got
got.
You gonna sit
I
up
Taino
got.
here and lie
blood.
like that,
Hold
boy?
on. I got.
You
I
gonna
got
sit up here and
Indian
lie like that, boy?
ancestry. I got Indian
Oh,
ancestry, just like I'm not African,
there you
but
go.
I have
There you
African
go.
ancestry.
You shut up,
Hey,
boy.
hey, Rico.
You shut up, boy.
He's starting to
Nah,
You shut
accept
up,
nah.
his
boy.
Indian. He's starting to accept his Indian blood.
No, I got Indian ancestry. Y'all not listening.
Okay.
I
Well,
said I
that's cool.
got
Then you're
African
Indian.
ancestry, but I'm not. That
Okay,
doesn't make me.
you're African.
I got ancestry, descendants. No, I'm American. I'm
Oh,
a
you're
black
American now.
American.
A black. Oh, you're Black
Yeah,
American.
yeah. We got our own distinct culture, man.
Oh, okay.
All right. So
I ain't tripping.
all
We got
right.
our
So
own people.
so so like
No,
so
no,
like we
explain that to me,
so like
Cliff. What is it about? Because I
We
already
our
know.
own
I
people.
already know the answer.
The culture that was created in America by these black people that are a mixture of Africans and Europeans and Native Americans, some
Oh,
heavier
okay.
on either side than others, created a
Mm-hmm.
culture here that's different than any culture anywhere else. Those
Mm-hmm.
are African Americans, those are black Americans.
all right. But do we
Those people.
all like right? We know North, Central, and South America was all impacted by slavery, all this, right? but check out stuff like this. After King Philip's War, right? When they started taking those prisoners of war and shipping them to Spain and Iberia and Tangiers and North Africa into the Azores Islands, like why aren't those people in those islands showing up with these Native American haplogroups? Like the stuff
But
that
how
they're
do you know
putting
they're
out,
not though? No, hold
it's
on,
a
hold on.
direct contradiction to history.
No, see, look, you're
It's a
fucking
direct
up. You was
contradiction to
good.
history.
You was good until you said that they. So you have proof that they're not finding them, or that they even found these people and they got tested. They haven't tested everybody.
Boy,
Now you
boy,
acting
I
like
ain't
they
go-
tested everybody. They
boy,
didn't. They
boy,
haven't
boy,
tested
I ain't
everybody
going
yet.
for that. Boy, I
No,
ain't
because
going for
it's a
that.
working project.
Oh,
It's a
so
working project.
so why the people who got Native American ancestry ain't matching up to North Africa and the Azores Islands? Why are they matching back
Why
to
would they?
China and back to Asia? They're not going to
Then
the Azores
no,
Islands either.
no. I think you confused or something.
No, I'm not confused. So you're saying that no
People
people
who
in these
have
places took the DNA test?
where and what places? What places?
The Azores Islands in Tangiers in North Africa,
Yeah,
Spain.
I'm pretty sure they did. But why? But you're acting like they. Who you? What you're saying is that you know everybody that took a test and you got all the results.
No, no, I'm not saying nothing like that. I'm saying that if people, American Indians, left America and went to parts of Europe, went to
How you
parts of
know they
Africa,
didn't though?
went to parts of Asia, and they aren't popping up on the DNA test as relatives to these people, then there's something missing in this equation.
But how do you know they're not?
There's
That's what I'm
something
trying to
missing.
say.
There's something missing.
You heard what I said? It dropped out. Yo, Isaiah, do you see
Yo,
these you see these people, these white people that can tan?
white people. I got that Asian chick in the middle. That she white.
She's not black.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Explain
No, but my
your
point is
premise.
that there's pale, there's different colored white people.
Hmm.
Like
But who's making these decisions as to who's white and
society
that's the
already
first
made
question.
those society already
Okay,
made those decisions,
so
bro.
society. Okay, okay.
Before we was even born, those decisions been made. We're just falling into a system that was already created. So
Okay,
we're not changing
you,
anything.
uh,
We're just reviewing what history has given us. And I'm telling you, there's a difference.
mm,
That one in the middle, she's gonna burn in the sun.
oh,
Molly Kunis
obviously,
could probably take a little sand. She could probably
right.
take a little tan. That's just my point. There's different, you know what I'm saying? And those ones like Molly Kunis, she would be considered. They would call her swarthy. They would call her black.
Molly Corner. Who you talking about? Who you talking
Mila
about?
Kunis or whatever her name is.
Oh, over on the far right, or the upper part of
Hmm.
it. Okay.
Yeah. They would call her swarthy because when you look at how swarthy and how it's used, it always deals with weather.
Mm-hmm.
They always say something with the climate. They're talking about tanning.
All right. Well, you know where these so-called swarthy complected people come from.
You said what?
You know where these swarthy complected people come from.
Where? What are you gonna say? Where they come from?
What
They
I'm saying
come.
is that they come from the mixture of normal black people with these so-called albino-like people or albinoid-like people. So you got to remember these so-called white days to be white. Dravidian albinos have absolutely no color at all. They're absent of melanin. So they come with red hair, blue eyes, and so on and so forth. They come from the black woman. So when you get these so-called albino, Dravidian albino mixing with normal black people, you get these so-called white people today, and a whole plethora of different ranges of color. So when you look at the Chinese, the original Chinese were black as well as the Japanese people, right? So they're coming from where? From the mixture and battles that they have with these so-called pale skins as well. It is very well known that I can't think of his name. He was the emperor. He declared war on the dark-skinned Chinese, and they were doing that war. In which the pale-skinned Chinese took control. I can't remember the name of the war. It'll come to me. And then over in Japan, you have the same kind of thing. So in society, it was a black society at one point, or a Moorish society at one point, or brown-skinned people, however you want to put it. So these so-called pale-skinned Japanese and Chinese are not the original people. They're not. Just to say in the same way we're saying that the European, as we know to be a European today, weren't and are not the true Europeans, weren't and are not the true Caucasians, weren't and are not the true Aryans and Anglo-Saxons. All those names were derivative or connected to black people first. You feel what I'm saying? So when you get into all of this about Caucasian and a Caucasian skull and how that happened, you got to get into the history of how that came about and how these white folks went over into Europe, especially Rome and Greece, and saw these white unfinished statues and thought, oh, that's us. Oh, that's our history. No, that was an unfinished boss. I don't want to. What do you call that? That was
You
an
know what?
unfinished.
You know
Yeah.
what's weird, bro? It's like every time we start in America, and then we always got to cross the waters to
No,
get
but
to.
you gotta get the full
Um,
story, Trip. You just can't go and look at a microscope of people and things and ideas and happenings in the America because there was a you didn't even have to know about I'm just putting this as a matter of fact. You didn't have to know about longitude and latitude in order to get from West Africa to the America. There's a natural wave
yeah, there's a
or
current.
current that takes you. Yeah,
Yeah,
that takes you. You know what I mean? So, but my thing is that I'm looking at it from the worldwide perspective because at one point all the continents were together, and that all the continents.
see, yo, you be going a lot of places, man. Like now
No, no,
you just jumped to
no,
600 million years,
no, no.
man. When you
But
talk
listen to
about
what
the
I'm saying.
continent, that's 600 million years ago. That's what they say. I'm like,
I feel what you're saying. I feel what you're saying. I'm
come
not
on,
going
we
here,
shouldn't
there,
have
and
to
everywhere.
go that far to distinguish
But no,
who's
but
who. This stuff
I'm
happened not
still
too long
I'm
ago.
right. But I'm still staying within the range of what you were talking about. Where do these
No,
white
bro,
folks
you
come
said that
from?
the
How did
continents
they?
are together. That's
Yeah, but
600
I'm saying
million.
I'm giving
When they,
you the gist of what happened and how the continent drifted apart and how close they were and how migration was easier way back in the day. You know what I mean? Long before the continent shifted and drifted apart. But my thing is really simple to understand. These white folks are lying in the history books of the America or America proper. They don't have no history. The history that
yeah,
they stole
so
from us.
yo, listen, me and you, we're gonna have a lot to talk about, man. I already see
Oh
it.
yeah,
But
yeah.
yo,
I'm
I've been on
listening.
here. We've been on here for 3 hours. I gotta do a couple things, man.
Yeah.
But yo, I'm
No,
definitely gonna start doing this more.
yeah,
So I'm
yeah.
definitely gonna be hitting you up.
Whenever you got another show, yeah, I'm gonna hook you up with Seer, and I'm gonna hook you up with my boy uh, Pa and
Yo,
Cheeto
you
Pie,
sent
and
me
then
you sent me that book, right?
yeah, I sent you the link to the book on your messenger. It's
right,
that.
yeah, I'm
Yeah.
definitely gonna support that, brother. Definitely.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. And then, we
One
might be
hundred
able to talk
percent.
about it on your show at some
Yeah,
point.
definitely, definitely. Word. But yeah, yo, I gotta go.
All right, man. Peace and stay up. Stay black too, nigga.
Yeah, definitely stay black, bro. And I'll definitely let you know when I'm coming back, man.
All right,
I
cool,
want to have
man.
you on here anytime.
All right, cool, man. No problem. Peace.
All right, man. Have a good
All
night.
right. How you doing?
All right, bro.